At your own wedding ceremony, you played a scandalous, adults-only video on the big screen. At first, your friends and relatives just thought you were into some wild stuff, but upon a closer look, they realized the woman in the video was actually today's bride, Lu Rian. And the guy with her wasn't you. Just as everyone was reeling from the shock, they noticed the bride, Lu Rian, hadn't even shown up yet. Under the confused gazes of all your friends and family, you held up the microphone in one hand and dialed Lu Rian's number with the other. She didn't answer the first call. You didn't get mad. You called again. This time, after a few rings, it finally went through. From the other end of the line, you could clearly hear cars honking. The guests at the venue could even hear the loud roar of a car engine. Everyone started whispering among themselves. Why is Lu Rian out driving? Is the eldest daughter of the Lu family trying to run away from her own wedding? You calmly asked, where are you? Why did you leave? Lu Rian replied with pure annoyance. I have something really important to take care of. We can make up for the engagement party later. You pressed her, what exactly is so important? That it matters more than our own engagement party? Then, Lu Rian's furious and impatient voice blasted through the phone. I told you we'll make it up later. I'm driving right now. I'm hanging up. You roared back at her. You think you can just say, make it up later, and that's it? What do you take this entire venue and all the guests who traveled so far to be here for? And what do you take my Chen family for? I spent 6 whole months planning this engagement. And you think one simple, make it up later, fixes everything? Finally, risking your own reputation to expose her, you pushed further. Make it up with who? Am I even going to be the groom? The moment those words dropped, the entire venue went dead silent. Lu Rian was completely taken aback too. She couldn't help but wonder, was this really the same pathetic simp, Chen Mo? Chen Mo, what the hell are you talking about? Are you trying to call off our wedding? Well, I'm certainly not the one ruining it. Like I already told you, I need to rush to the hospital right now. Someone over there is waiting for me to save their life. You let out a cold, sarcastic laugh. Are you a doctor? Are you magically going to heal them just by showing up? Then tell me, who exactly is lying in that hospital bed? Are they dropping dead this very second? Can they not wait a single minute? Did you really have to walk out right in the middle of our ceremony? Down in the audience, even the Lu family members were scratching their heads. At such a crucial moment, who on earth had the kind of charm to make the notoriously aloof eldest daughter of the Lu family walk out like this? And drive herself all the way to the hospital? Right after that, they heard Lu Rian's ice-cold voice reply, my assistant, Yi Fan. Hearing that name, the entire crowd absolutely exploded. Wait, isn't Yi Fan CEO Lu's assistant? She personally hired him right after she graduated. I heard this Yi Fan is drop-dead gorgeous, and he and the Lu heiress are super close. Practically like besties, but since when do wealthy heiresses have male besties? Seeing everyone gossiping, the Lu family matriarch, Lu Weichen, couldn't sit still anymore. She immediately ordered her men to rush the stage and snatch your phone. But too bad for them, you came prepared. You had spent $10 to hire 200 local street punks to guard the stage in layers. You kept pressing her. What happened to him this time? Did he catch another little cold and a fever? And hit by a bicycle, no less. I've always had my suspicions about you too. Who's the real boss of the Lu family here? If he's just some lowly assistant, how could he make you, the heiress of the Lu family, ditch your fiancé at the altar just to wait on him hand and foot? Chen Mo, could you drop the sarcastic remarks for once? He's not just my assistant. He's also my friend. Disrespecting him is disrespecting me. Hearing her words, your heart gave a sudden jolt. Oh, absolutely. Do you have any idea what happens when you disrespect this assistant? Your entire family gets wiped out, and you end up a bloody corpse on the street. Yi Fan is the exact reason you died so young in your past life. But now, you've been reborn, and you're going to tear this cheating couple down, piece by piece, until their reputations are completely destroyed. And they're despised by everyone. Making them famous is just step 1 of your grand plan. With that in mind, you push her further. It seems this friend of yours means a hell of a lot more to you than your own fiancé. If that's how it is, then make a choice right now. It's me or Yi Fan. Who do you choose? Lu Rian was completely caught off guard. She never expected you to back her into a corner like this. In her mind, she and Yi Fan were as close as family. How dare you twist their relationship like that? Answer me, who do you choose? You refused to back down, your tone sharp and demanding. Deep down, Lu Rian weighed her options. She realized that Yi Fan seemed to understand her so much better. Always making sure she was happy. Before she could stop herself, she blurted out, Yi Fan. With that, she frantically hung up the phone and floored the gas pedal, speeding toward the hospital. But the moment those words left her mouth, a sudden, inexplicable pang hit her chest. It felt as though someone incredibly important was slipping away from her forever. Meanwhile, back at the venue, every single friend and relative in the audience had heard her choice loud and clear over the speakers. Not a single person took her side anymore. The illusion of the perfect, untouchable Ice Queen was shattered into a million pieces. Old Madame Lu burned with a humiliation she had never felt before. She was furious at Rian for being such a disappointment, but she also blamed you for showing absolutely no mercy. How could you blow this up in front of so many people? Fuming, she snapped at a nearby servant. Go drag that ungrateful brat back here right now. I mean this second. If that trash Yi-fan is dead, then good riddance. And if he isn't, then make sure he gets run over for real. At the exact same time, Lu Rian had arrived at the hospital, still wearing her stunning, pure white wedding gown. She sprinted wildly down the corridors. No one had ever seen a bride in full wedding attire running through the hospital before. Everyone stared, whispering and guessing what kind of drama was unfolding. A few hopelessly romantic girls were already making up tragic love stories in their heads. Oh my god, her boyfriend must have been in a horrible crash. Or maybe he has a terminal illness and won't even make it through the night. So she rushed here in her wedding dress just to say one last goodbye. Swept up in the tragic romance of it all, some of the girls eagerly whipped out their phones to take photos. They posted them online, raking in likes and comments. In your past life, it was exactly this kind of viral online gossip that ruined you. Once everyone's identities were exposed, you were permanently branded as the pathetic cuckold. Back then, when Rian became a runaway bride, the Lu family did punish her severely. And they fully intended to get rid of Yi-fan, but she threatened to kill herself to protect him, keeping him alive. And you? Like the absolute simp you were, you naturally chose to forgive her. Your devotion was completely twisted by keyboard warriors online. They painted you as some arrogant, filthy rich bully who stole true love away from a helpless couple. You used your family's influence to oppress the Lu family, tearing Lu Rian and Yi-fan apart. Meanwhile, Yi-fan survived tenaciously like the main character of a web novel. Though bitter, he still loved Lu Rian, always staying by her side to protect her. In the eyes of the world, you were the ultimate evil villain. Lu Rian knew all of this, yet she never once defended you. She only cared about protecting Yi-fan's reputation. You meant absolutely nothing to her. Right now, at the engagement banquet, you are holding the microphone, speaking deeply to the audience below, since the eldest daughter of the Lu family has made her choice. Then I shall step aside and grant her wish. Although Lu Weichin didn't know what you were going to say, she felt a wave of unease. She was desperate to stop you from saying another word. Dragging her frail, elderly body, she rushed to the front of the stage and pleaded. Chen Mo, whatever it is, let's close the doors and talk about it as a family. Rian is still young and naive. She just lost her sense of reasoning. We will discipline her. Come down now and hand me the microphone. You looked at Lu Weichin in front of you, the woman you had called grandma for years. A distant look crossed your face. The Chen family's bloodline had been thinning out, long before you were even born. And when your parents passed away in a tragic accident during your high school years, the massive Chen family estate was ultimately left for you, the sole heir, to hold up all alone. Back then, it was the Lu family who gave you care and warmth. However, their kindness was always a trap. Their true intention was to swallow up all of the Chen family's assets. Reborn into this second life, you would never let history repeat itself. Old Madam Lu, your last name is Lu, and mine is Chen. Since when were we ever considered family? The moment your granddaughter made her choice, I ceased to be your future grandson-in-law. That title belongs to Yi-fan. Right now, I am standing here as the head of the Chen family, speaking to you. Seeing her emotional manipulation fail, Lu Weichin stared desperately at the man on stage. You then turned to the crowd with an apologetic expression and said, I sincerely apologize, everyone. You all took time out of your busy schedules to attend my engagement party, only for it to end up as an absolute joke. Like I said before, I am more than happy to step aside and grant their wish. Since the eldest daughter of the Lu family has already given her heart to someone else, how could I possibly stand in the way of true love? Effective immediately, my engagement to Lu Rian is officially cancelled. The moment those words left your mouth, your former father-in-law, Qin Hai, suddenly found a burst of courage. He charged straight onto the stage, fiercely trying to stop you from breaking off the engagement. I absolutely forbid this. Chen Mo, you have no right to make such a decision. Mr. Qin, on what grounds are you objecting? Your daughter has already made her choice. She ran off to chase her true love. What exactly do you expect me to do? Send someone to drag her back and lock her up? Those are illegal and immoral acts that my Chen family would never commit. My upbringing simply does not allow it. Your words were a direct slap to the Lu family's face, openly mocking them for lacking manners and upbringing. Raising a shameless daughter, Qin Hai's face turned beet red as he continued to plead. Chen Mo, Rian clearly didn't realize that her choice would lead to the engagement being broken off. If she knew, she would definitely come back. Please, just give her one more chance. Facing Qin Hai's pathetic begging, you let out a contemptuous laugh and slowly shook your head. Mr. Qin, how do you know I didn't give her a chance? She's the one who crossed the line. Have you forgotten the video playing right before the wedding? It's pretty obvious your daughter and Yi-fan have been sleeping together for a long time. What's the point of you objecting now? Your precious new son-in-law is currently lying in a hospital bed. I think you'd be better off going to check on him. Oh, and by the way, old Mrs. Lu, Is your third generation still planning to take in a live-in son-in-law? Because if so, you should have told me earlier. I would have backed out while I still could, and it would have saved us from this massive misunderstanding. The guests in attendance never expected that you could be this calm. You carried yourself like an absolute king. How could Chin Hai just let such a perfect son-in-law slip away? Desperately trying to salvage things, he walked up beside you and whispered, Chen Mo, this is just how marriages work in wealthy families. You can have your own fun on the side. Rian has been by your side for years. You can't just toss her aside now after having your fun. She just made a foolish mistake in the heat of the moment. Please, just forgive her. Marrying her means you get half of the Liu family's assets. For the sake of your past feelings and all this wealth, let's just drop the whole idea of canceling the wedding. You thought to yourself, has my ex-father-in-law completely lost his damn mind? After everything that just happened, he really expects you to swallow your pride and stomach this disgust? Besides, you and Lu Rian haven't even gone all the way. Aside from hugging and kissing, you two haven't done anything else. You were played for a fool once, but you sure as hell won't let it happen a second time. The Chen family has more than enough money. We don't need a single dime from the Liu family. And while we're at it, I'm announcing a second thing right now. From this day forward, the Chen family is no longer a strategic partner of the Liu family. Once our current projects wrap up, we will not be signing any new contracts with you. That completely stunned Chin Hai, and even Lu Weiqin was so shocked she could barely stand, overwhelmed by sheer panic and fury. Lu Weiqin passed out cold on the floor. Hurry, get the old lady to a hospital. The Liu family members frantically rushed over to help her up, and quickly carried her out of the venue. Seeing the total chaos, Chin Hai shook his head bitterly and followed right behind them. Meanwhile, you stayed behind to calm the guests down. Late that night, after everyone had left and the noise finally faded away, the Chen estate returned to normal. But beneath that quietness, a storm of emotions was still raging. You and Shen Yuchu headed back to the living room, silently sipping on some hangover tea. Neither of you said a word. Shen Yuchu was like a late autumn rose. She wasn't flashy, but she radiated this deeply irresistible charm. If Lu Rian was an icy snow lotus, then Shen Yuchu was undeniably a dark, alluring black rose. Shen Yuchu was 3 or 4 years older than you. Not long after the Chen family adopted her, your mom actually got pregnant with you. Even though the family had a biological son, they never once treated Shen Yuchu like an outsider. They raised her with the exact same love as their own daughter. Eventually, Shen Yuchu was the one who broke the silence. Chen Mo, are you really just going to let this go? I just can't stand the fact that Lu Rian did this to you. How could she completely trample all over your true feelings? As she spoke, tears started streaming down her face. At this point, you stopped pretending to be okay. Your whole body just went limp, collapsing heavily into the chair. Your eyes were totally blank, filled with nothing but raw sorrow, despair, and sheer helplessness. And absolute disbelief. Ever since you were reborn, you still couldn't believe Lu Rian would actually do this to you. The absolute humiliation of her running out on the wedding was really just the tip of the iceberg. Is the pain you've suffered really limited to just today? Compared to 10 years ago, when Lu Rian mercilessly beat you into a vegetative state just to avenge Yi Fan. You comforted her, sister, this matter definitely won't end here. Lu Rian is secondary. I'm going to make the Lu family pay for her choices. What do you think is the most important thing to a woman? Without waiting for Shen Yuchu to answer, you continued. Today, I completely exposed the photos of Lu Rian's affair to the public. Even though it's a double-edged sword, Lu Rian, for the rest of her life, can forget about ever marrying into any wealthy family again. The Lu family will absolutely never allow her to be with Yi Fan. We don't even need to lift a finger. The Lu family will deal with the two of them on their own. And all we need to do is deal with the Lu family. I'm going to make sure they never recover. You gripped your teacup and spoke viciously, your eyes gleaming like a ferocious wolf. Seething with killing intent, Shen Yuchu had never seen you like this before. She felt like you were a completely different person. Alright, Chen Mo, I will always support you. The Chen family is your shield. Together, we will make them pay back 10 times over. Shen Yuchu walked over to your side, and reached out to touch your forehead, just like when you were little. And you gazed at this face you had missed so desperately. In your past life, after you fell into a vegetative state, Shen Yuchu came to take care of you every single day. She personally rolled you over and massaged your body, whispered about the outside world in your ear, and right before leaving, she would always gently pat your head. You couldn't hold back anymore. You stood up and pulled Shen Yuchu into a tight hug. You didn't know where, in your past life, Lu Rian had taken Shen Yuchu, or what kind of tragic end she had met. Even until your dying breath, you regretted falling in love with Lu Rian and letting her hurt your loved ones. You swore to yourself that in this life, the only person you must never let down is Shen Yuchu. You buried your face in the crook of Shen Yuchu's neck, breathing in her familiar scent. This feeling of regaining what you had lost broke down all your walls, and you burst into heavy tears. Caught completely off guard by your sudden embrace, Shen Yuchu's delicate body stiffened. It had been years since you two had hugged as adults. After all, you were practically raised by Shen Yuchu. Ever since you were a child, you were always tagging along behind her. Until you grew up, met Lu Rian, and distanced yourself from Shen Yuchu because of her. Hearing your sobs, Shen Yuchu thought you were still heartbroken over Lu Rian. Her heart ached as she hugged you back, gently stroking the back of your head. Just like when you were kids, comforting her crybaby little brother. You cried your heart out, venting all the heavy depression trapped in your chest. You felt so much better, looking a bit more full of life. Sister, you should get some rest early. Tomorrow, when we head to the company, there are still a lot of things to handle. After saying that, you turned and walked toward the door. Where are you going? It's so late. Why are you still heading out? Shen Yuchu asked. I'm making a trip to the marital home. There are some things I need to get back. Those are Mom and Dad's belongings. I can't leave them with Lu Rian. You explained, knowing that you weren't regretting it and trying to go back to Lu Rian. Shen Yuchu didn't press the matter. She arranged for someone to drive you away from the Chen family estate. As soon as you left, Shen Yuchu let out a cold scoff. Lu family, it's about time we settle our scores. Shen Yuchu was definitely no mere pretty face. The fact that she could hold up the Chen family at the age of 22 and keep it standing strong is more than enough to prove her capability. As for the Tianchi group, if you hadn't been so indulgent in your past life and directly stripped away Shen Yuchu's power, how could the Lu family have ever seized the Chen family's assets? You even caused Shen Yuchu to be abducted by Lu Rian. Tianhai Pavilion is a luxury villa estate developed by the Lu family. And this is exactly where your marital home with Lu Rian was supposed to be. You open the front door and walk straight into the villa. Looking around this familiar yet strangely distant room, a wave of overwhelming emotions hits you and a deep sorrow fills your heart. Honestly, you originally planned to just live in the old Chen family mansion after getting married. But Lu Rian refused. She hated the interior design of the old estate. And since this new neighborhood developed by her family had just been completed, she made you buy your marital home right here. The signature villa, the absolute crown jewel of Tianhai Pavilion, priced at 150 million. And because you took the lead, the originally struggling housing project was instantly saved. All your wealthy friends followed suit and bought houses here. After all, who wouldn't want to live a little closer to the Chen family? Later on, you spent another 50 million on renovations, styling everything exactly to Lu Rian's personal taste. The renovations took half a year and you supervised the entire process yourself. You figured that, after all, this was the place where the two of you would spend the rest of your lives together. It had to be absolutely perfect, without a single flaw. But in the end, Yi Fan was the one who reaped all the benefits. After you ended up paralyzed in a vegetative state, Lu Rian simply shipped you back to the old Chen family mansion. Meanwhile, she gifted this very place to Yi Fan. Perhaps, she only sent you away because she wanted to hand your marital home over to her lover. You have no idea if, while you were lying out cold, the marital home you built brick by brick with such care was turned into a love nest for Lu Rian and Yi Fan. Did those two hook up in your own wedding bed? That was exactly what made Shen Yuchu finally snap. She brought her people, stormed right up to their door, and beat Yi Fan until he was completely paralyzed. But that same act of loyalty brought a fatal disaster upon her. Thinking about all of this, your heart feels like it's being ripped to shreds. You suddenly cough up a mouthful of blood. The bright red stains splatter across the living room's pristine white carpet. Looking violently harsh, overcome by sheer grief and heartbreak, you collapse unconscious onto the floor. Meanwhile, at the Hang City Central Hospital, Lu Rian still has no idea that she is about to become the biggest scandal in the entire city. She is sitting by Yi Fan's hospital bed, gripping his hand tightly with both of hers. Looking at his pale face lying there, her heart aches unbearably. Thank goodness he is okay. He only suffered a few minor scrapes. There are no internal injuries, but the impact did knock him unconscious. He still hasn't woken up. She has been keeping watch by his bedside for over 2 hours now. Without even blinking an eye, she is completely clueless about what just happened at the old Chen family estate. She is even more clueless that she has practically become a local celebrity, just not the flattering kind. Earlier, when she rushed into the hospital looking for Yi Fan, someone filmed it and posted it online. At first, the internet was totally eating it up, praising their dramatic and deeply moving love story, while netizens were busy fawning over Lu Rian's gorgeous looks. The whole thing went totally viral. The internet was absolutely flooded with their blessings. But unfortunately for her, the tables turned real quick. The guests who had attended your engagement party knew the real truth. They hopped online and completely flipped the narrative. Give me a break. What kind of absolute bullshit is this? That's not what happened at all. This woman's name is Lu Rian. She's the eldest daughter of the Lu family in Hangzhou, and the guy in the hospital is her assistant, Yi Fan. Tonight was supposed to be her engagement party with the young master of the Chen family, but she ditched her fiancé, Chen Mo, right at the venue. So she came to the hospital, still wearing her engagement dress, just to see her dirty little secret of a lover. That's no boyfriend. I can't believe you guys are actually congratulating a shameless couple like them. I was totally blind. You guys make me so sick I could throw up blood. This netizen took the whole story about you, Lu Rian, and Yi Fan. and posted every single detail online, along with photos from the engagement party. In the picture, there you were, standing completely alone on the stage. Your handsome face was filled with pure loss and despair, while the big screen behind you showed that exact photo of Lu Rian in her pajamas, alone in a room with Yifan. The logic was flawless, and the evidence was rock solid. It completely proved beyond a doubt that Lu Rian was cheating with Yifan. Just like that, public opinion totally flipped. Lu Rian had absolutely no idea that the internet was already blowing up. After getting to the hospital, she just turned off her phone because people kept calling her non-stop. She was afraid the ringing would wake Yifan up. But there was also another reason. She honestly had no idea how to explain herself to her family or to the Chens. So she just shut it off to get some peace and quiet. In her mind, Chen Mo was just having a hard time accepting it right now. Once she went back and talked to him face to face, she could easily calm him down. As long as Chen Mo stopped being mad and forgave her, her family wouldn't blame her either. She figured that, at some point, she'd make Chen Mo give her a proper apology and force him to propose to her all over again. And once she was in a better mood, she might just forgive him for being so aggressive today. Then she would just marry him. I can't believe he actually made me choose. I'm going to ignore him for a whole week this time. I need to teach him some basic rules. How dare he rebel against me like that? But, I guess I'll still marry him. I'll just make Yifan his best man. And after we get married, I want to have 2 kids. And if we have a boy, he's taking the Lu family name. Yep, it's settled. She had been with you for so many years, and she had always been exactly like this. No matter how horrible the things she did were, as long as she stood right in front of you, you would always forgive her. After all, she was the precious princess, and you were her loyal knight in shining armor. But this time, she was dead wrong. Her knight was already dead, and she was the one who killed him. While Lu Rian was still lost in her fantasies, the door suddenly crashed open. It scared the life out of her, and even Yifan twitched in his hospital bed. Though he still didn't wake up, Lu Rian panicked, terrified that Chen Mo had tracked her down. She was so tense that she completely missed Yifan's strange reaction. But the person who walked in was Qin Hai. He brought a few bodyguards with him, striding into the room with a deadly serious look on his face. The second Lu Rian saw it was him, she instantly relaxed. What are you doing here? Her voice was freezing cold, completely lacking even a shred of respect for her father. But Qin Hai seemed completely used to it by now. He wasn't even mad as he slowly spoke. Rian, your grandmother passed out from the shock. She's lying in the hospital room right next to yours. You need to go see her right now. Hearing that, Lu Rian quickly let go of Yifan's hand and jumped to her feet. Why did Grandma pass out? Why didn't you tell me sooner? What on earth is Chen Mo doing? He can't even handle a simple thing like this. And now Grandma fainted from anger. Didn't he know he was supposed to calm her down first? Where the hell is he? Did he even bother coming to the hospital? I need to have a word with him. Just how exactly is he fixing this mess? Lu Rian's stunningly beautiful face was as cold as ice, and her words were full of complaints. Without so much as a glance at Qin Hai, she walked straight out of the room to find her grandmother. She shoved all the blame onto you, not once considering that she was the one who ran out on her own wedding. That's what caused this whole mess. Of course, she had no idea that the moment she chose Yifan, you had already announced the cancellation of the engagement. Qin Hai didn't bother telling her either. He just gave a cold, detached look at Yifan, who was lying in the hospital bed. Smirking with contempt, he said, "Drop the act. I invented those pathetic tricks you're pulling." Yifan lay perfectly still on the bed. He looked like he was genuinely in a coma. Fine, keep playing dead. Qin Hai clearly saw through the charade, but he didn't expose him right then and there. Instead, he turned to his bodyguards. You two, stay here and keep an eye on him. Don't let him take a single step out of this room. With that, Qin Hai turned on his heel and walked out. And right at that moment, Yifan's eyelids twitched slightly. He wanted to peek and see what was going on. But the second he opened his eyes just a crack, he saw the looming shadows of 2 massive guards. Terrified, he quickly squeezed his eyes shut and kept playing dead. Meanwhile, Lu Rian stepped out into the hallway. Sure enough, standing in front of the VIP room next door were her family's bodyguards, looking dead serious. The moment she rushed into the room, she saw her elderly grandmother lying in the hospital bed. Completely unconscious, the sight terrified her and she burst into tears again. She frantically turned to Wang Ma, her grandmother's personal maid. What happened to my grandma? Why is she like this? Wang Ma hesitated, struggling to find the right words. She had worked for the Lu family for over 50 years, serving Lu Weiqin since they were young. She had watched Lu Rian grow up, and she couldn't believe that Rian could do something so utterly disgraceful. But the harsh truth was right in front of her. The eldest lady of the house had dumped her fiancé to visit her kept boy toy of an assistant at the hospital. And she did it right in the middle of her own engagement party. Wang Ma let out a heavy sigh and said softly, "Miss, the madam just fainted from overwhelming shock and anger. She'll be alright. She should wake up soon." Before Lu Rian could ask anything else, Lu Weiqin heard the commotion and slowly opened her eyes. Seeing this, Wang Ma quickly hurried over to help the old lady sit up. Lu Rian rushed over to help too. Grandma, are you okay? How are you feeling? Wait, where is Chen Mo? You fainted. Don't tell me he didn't even bother coming with you? Lu Rian completely glossed over the fact that she was the one who ran away. She had no idea that her own actions were the exact reason her grandmother fainted. Instead, she genuinely believed that it was all Chen Mo's fault for not taking care of her. I can't believe you're in the hospital, and he's not even here. But Lu Weichen furiously shoved Lu Rian away. Filled with disgust, she snapped, "Get away from me. I have no granddaughter who acts like this." It was only then that Lu Rian realized she was busted, but she still looked completely unfazed. "Grandma, what are you talking about? It's just an engagement party. We can always just throw another one later, right? I'll sort things out with Chen Mo. I'm calling him right now to make him come over and apologize to you." After Lu Rian said that, she pulled out her phone, turned it on, and was about to call Chen Mo, but Lu Weichen immediately stopped her. Because Lu Weichen knew perfectly well that Lu Rian still had no idea about what was going on outside. Chen Mo had already announced he was calling off the engagement. If Lu Rian blindly called him right now with that kind of attitude, it would completely backfire and enrage Chen Mo, leaving absolutely no room to salvage the situation. "Don't make that call yet. You listen to an old woman finish her words first." Naturally, Lu Rian didn't dare disobey her grandmother right now, so she obediently put her phone away. "Go ahead, Grandma." Lu Weichen leaned back against the hospital bed and told Nanny Wang to leave and shut the door. Once Nanny Wang stepped out, leaving only the two of them in the room, Lu Weichen's expression changed instantly, flying into a towering rage. She sternly scolded, "Do you even know what you're doing? Do you think just because I'm old and frail, I can't keep you in line anymore? To actually do something so disgraceful, you've completely dragged our Lu family's name through the mud." Lu Rian trembled in fear, her tears of grievance spilling over like a broken dam. She had no idea what had happened to make her grandmother so furious. "Grandma, what did I even do? Why are you yelling at me like this? How did I disgrace our family? What's gotten into you? You have the absolute nerve to ask me? You tell me, who is in the hospital room right next door? What's his status? What right does he have to be staying in a top-floor VIP suite?" Lu Weichen grew more furious by the second. She was actually trying to save Lu Rian some dignity. If it had been anyone else, she would have cursed them out completely by now. Even though Lu Rian and Chen Mo weren't officially married yet, the two of them had been engaged for a long time. Lu Rian's current behavior was downright unfaithful. Back in Lu Weichen's day, a woman like that would be thrown into a bamboo cage and drowned in the river. Lu Rian was completely dumbfounded by the accusation. She had never told her family about Yi Fan. Other than Chen Mo, everyone else only knew Yi Fan as her assistant. Lu Rian felt totally betrayed. She quickly asked, "Grandma, how did you know Yi Fan was here? Did Chen Mo tell you? How could he do this? I've already made things completely clear to him. There is nothing going on between me and Yi Fan. He is literally just my assistant. He is being so unbelievably petty." Lu Weichen let out a furious laugh. "An assistant? What kind of assistant makes you walk out right in the middle of your own engagement party? And what kind of assistant gets hospitalized and has the CEO stay over to take care of them? Does that sound like a normal boss and assistant relationship to you? Who on earth is going to believe that? Do you think we're all just a bunch of idiots?" Faced with Lu Weichen's aggressive questioning, Lu Rian was completely flustered. She had no idea how to explain her relationship with Yi Fan to her grandmother, but she was positive it absolutely wasn't anything romantic. Her feelings for Yi Fan were more like family, like a relative without any blood ties. But if she actually said that out loud, would her grandmother even believe her? Right now, the only person who could possibly fix this mess was Chen Mo. If only he would step up and explain things for her, Grandma would definitely believe it. She instinctively went to call Chen Mo again to make him come over. This time, Lu Weichen saw her but didn't stop her. She just said coldly, "Don't even bother wasting your breath. I'm guessing Chen Mo won't pick up your call right now." But Lu Rian didn't believe it. She called him right away, but Chen Mo really didn't pick up. In the past, this would have been absolutely impossible. Whenever she called him, he would always answer in less than 3 seconds. But today, Lu Rian called 3 times in a row and got absolutely no response. "Sigh, my dear granddaughter, let me just tell you the truth." Lu Weichen sighed deeply and recounted everything that happened after she had left, explaining it all to Lu Rian in full detail, from the moment he called her on the phone, then forcing her to make a choice, all the way to him publicly calling off the engagement. The only thing she left out was the photos of Lu Rian and Yi Fan getting a hotel room together. But even that was too much for Lu Rian to handle. Hearing that Chen Mo had publicly cancelled the wedding left her completely paralyzed with shock. Her face was full of sheer disbelief. How is that even possible? He loves me so much. How could he just cancel our engagement? No way. I need to go find him. I have to ask him what the hell he means by this. How dare he pull something like this? Saying that, Lu Ruyan immediately turned to run outside. Get back here, what good is going over there right now? Lu Weichin glared at her granddaughter, who couldn't even tell right from wrong at this point. She finally realized just how terribly she had failed at raising her. In this whole mess, Lu Ruyan was the one at fault. And this time, Chen Mo simply stopped putting up with her nonsense. Tell your grandmother the truth. What exactly is going on between you and that boy next door? Just how far have things gone? Lu Ruyan froze at her grandmother's questioning. Her eyes darted around nervously. She paused, hesitating for a brief moment before saying, Grandma. What are you even talking about? What kind of relationship could I possibly have with Yifan? You have to believe me. We are really just colleagues, or, well, friends. Don't listen to Chen Mo's nonsense. When I said on the phone that I chose Yifan, I just meant that I needed to come to the hospital. I wasn't saying that between Yifan and Chen Mo, I would actually choose Yifan. Why would I ever give up on Chen Mo? That's completely impossible. That last sentence from Lu Ruyan was actually the genuine truth. At the time, she was mostly just furious at his relentless pushing. Which was why she lost her head and blurted out that she chose Yifan. Now that she thought about it, those words really didn't sound right. Chen Mo was clearly setting a trap for her. He was baiting her into digging her own grave. But Lu Weichin wasn't buying a single word of her granddaughter's nonsense. Knowing full well that Lu Ruyan was lying, Lu Weichin felt an overwhelming sense of disappointment. Even at a time like this, she was still trying to make excuses. Her chest throbbed with sheer anger. Lu Ruyan, things have already reached this point. And you're still lying to me? Even I don't buy your pathetic excuses. Do you really think any of the guests at the banquet are going to believe you? You need to understand, the people invited tonight are all prominent figures. Many of them are close business partners with our family. We have financial ties with them. If rumors of your infidelity are proven true, do you have any idea how much damage that will do to the Lu family? Lu Ruyan stared blankly in shock. Astounded, she stammered, Infidelity? What do you mean, cheating? Who on earth told you I cheated? But Lu Weichin didn't bother explaining. She just pulled out her phone, and forwarded the pictures of her and Yifan straight to her. Lu Ruyan opened the photos, and the moment she saw them, eyes wide in sheer terror. Where did you get this? Who took this picture? Don't you worry about where I got it. I am telling you, whether anything happened between you two or not, that Yifan is dead meat. Even if the Chen family doesn't make a move, our Lu family won't spare him either. He is the biggest stain on your entire life. Lu Ruyan was still trying to recall the events in the picture, when she heard Lu Weichin threaten to kill Yifan. She desperately tried to stop her. No, you cannot touch him. I won't allow it. If you want to kill him, then you'll have to kill me first. Lu Weichin collapsed back onto the bed, completely speechless with rage. Lu Ruyan completely ignored her grandmother's reaction. Right now, she desperately needed to explain herself. Let me explain this picture. I remember now. This is from my business trip with Yifan last week. That night, he only came to my room for work. We were just discussing company business. I only changed my clothes because he accidentally spilled coffee all over me. You have to believe me, Grandma. You raised me yourself. How could I possibly do something so shameful? Hearing Lu Ruyan's explanation, Lu Weichin was still half in doubt. These pictures, even though they didn't capture what actually happened inside the room, a man and a woman all alone in the middle of the night. And then Lu Ruyan seeing Yifan out in a bathrobe? No matter how you looked at it, it was totally scandalous. Lu Ruyan's explanation simply didn't hold water. Seeing that her grandmother still refused to believe her, she blurted out, Grandma, if you still don't believe me, we're at the hospital right now. Go get a gynecologist. I'll let them examine me right this second. They can prove that I'm still a virgin. Hearing her granddaughter swear so fiercely, Lu Weichin finally started to believe her. But that just confused her even more. If her granddaughter and Yifan weren't romantically involved, then why was she protecting him so desperately? Lu Ruyan knew she couldn't hide the truth about Yifan anymore. She had no choice but to confess everything. Lu Ruyan explained. Yifan started working at the Lu family company a year ago. She felt he was a decent guy, so she transferred him to be her personal assistant. Over time, she began to realize just how special he was. Compared to the crazy romantic gestures from other suitors, or even Chen Mo's endless pampering, Yifan was just different. And since the Lu family had only produced girls for 3 generations, there wasn't a single little brother in the entire family. Ever since she was a little girl, she had always wanted one. And Yifan stepping into her life perfectly filled that void. Over the past year, Lu Ruyan grew more and more dependent on him. She would even agree to his most ridiculous demands. Hearing this, Lu Weichin wanted nothing more than to slap her granddaughter right across the face. A brother? What kind of brother is that? You have 0 blood relation, yet you're completely inseparable. Who on earth is going to believe that excuse? Except for Chen Mo, of course. That absolute fool who was totally blinded by love. But clearly, he's not playing the fool anymore. He woke up. No wonder Chen Mo handled this whole mess so calmly. He must have swallowed so much disappointment over this, until it turned into absolute despair. He trusted you time and time again, only for things to get worse. That's why he cancelled the wedding in front of everyone. Lu Weichin beat her chest in utter devastation, wailing out loud. What terrible sin did our Lu ancestors commit? How did I end up with a granddaughter like you? Hearing her grandmother's harsh scolding, Lu Rian felt incredibly wronged. Just then, there was an urgent knock on the door. Qin Hai called out from outside. Mom, I have an urgent matter to report to you. Come in. Qin Hai rushed over to Lu Weichin with a tablet. Mom, the scandal about Rian has blown up online. The public backlash is completely against us right now. What on earth should we do? Lu Weichin absolutely despised his panicked behavior and total lack of a spine. He wasn't even as composed as Chen Mo, a kid in his 20s. What are you panicking for? Look at how pathetic you are. Being harshly scolded by Lu Weichin, Qin Hai shrank back even more cowardly, while Lu Rian shot him a look of pure disgust. Deep down, she truly despised her own father. If the Lu family hadn't been desperate for a male heir, her mother would never have married such a weak man as a live-in son-in-law. He couldn't even stay as calm as us women in a crisis. To make matters worse, Qin Hai was completely useless, failing to even give the Lu family a baby boy. After her mother passed away, the family's contempt for Qin Hai only grew, but he was long used to being treated like trash. Without showing any anger, he simply said, Mom, you really need to see this. Lu Rian grabbed the tablet and leaned in to read it with Lu Weichin. But seconds later, Rian was shaking uncontrollably with rage, and Lu Weichin simply collapsed, passing out from pure fury once again. The scandal had blown wildly out of proportion online, but public opinion wasn't divided anymore. More and more people were actually siding with Chen Mo. Many insiders had gone online to expose everything Chen Mo had secretly done for Rian over the years. Someone even leaked the full list of the massive engagement gifts the Chen family had given them. Seeing this, the internet exploded. This is absolutely heartless. Now, Rian had absolutely no way to defend herself, even if she swore that she and Yifan were just like siblings. Who was going to believe her? The entire internet was ripping her apart. They were dragging the whole Lu family down with her. Someone online even started a massive boycott, demanding that no one ever buy another Lu family product again. Tomorrow, as soon as the stock market opened, every single investor was going to dump their Lu family stocks in a panic. It was painfully obvious that tomorrow was going to be an absolute nightmare for the Lu family. If they couldn't fix this disaster fast, the family business would never recover. All the precious resources they had milked from the Chen family over the years, and their recently inflated stock prices, were all going to crash and burn. Grandma, what do we do? Lu Rian was finally choking on the bitter fruit of her own actions. Her own reputation was utterly ruined, and she was dragging her entire family down with her. Failed to raise my daughter right. Mom, what should we do? You're asking me what to do? How the hell should I know? When you made that stupid choice, didn't you ever stop to think this day would come? Slap. Old Madame Lu absolutely lost her mind. She viciously slapped Rian across the face. Holding her stinging cheek, Rian burst into loud, pathetic sobs. Filled with grief and panic, she cried out, Grandma, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I know I messed up. Is Chen Mo really going to leave me for good? No, Grandma, no. I don't want to cancel the engagement. I really do love him. I swear I didn't betray him. I didn't cheat on him. Lu Rian was completely shattered, no longer the untouchable ice goddess she used to be. The proud snow lotus had fallen. Right now, she looked exactly like a pathetic, abandoned stray dog. Looking all pitiful. So now you finally know you messed up? It's way too late for that. If you were gonna play around, you should have covered your tracks. Being so high profile, it's like you were afraid the whole world wouldn't find out. You kept a boy toy on the side, and now look where it got you. You've completely ruined yourself, and dragged the entire Lu family down with you. Reading all these comments, Lu Weichin simply couldn't believe her eyes. What kind of brother-sister relationship did Lu Rian and Yifan actually have? The old lady started tearing up too. She could already imagine the fallout. She was furious at Lu Rian, but she hated Chen Mo even more for blowing this whole thing so out of proportion. Calling off the engagement at the wedding wasn't enough for him, he just had to spread rumors online to stir up public outrage. If you knew you were taking the fall for this massive mess, you'd probably cough up blood from sheer anger all over again. Just then, Qin Hai stepped forward and said to the old lady, Mom, how do you think we should handle this mess now? What else can we even do? Qin Hai paused for a moment to think, then said, Mom, we need to take a two-step approach. First, we have to deal with the public backlash online. We need to immediately reach out to our contacts to block the news and completely suppress this scandal. Second, we go find Chen Mo right now and make him hold a press conference to take the blame. Lu Rian and Lu Weichin just stared at each other in disbelief. Both of these steps were incredibly difficult. Knowing the solution was one thing, but actually pulling it off was another. Especially getting Chen Mo to step forward and making him take the fall? What did he even do wrong in all of this? Lu Rian herself couldn't even think of a single reason. Then, Qin Hai laid out his plan. The grandmother and granddaughter of the Liu family were absolutely dumbstruck. They never imagined that a worthless son-in-law and a spineless, incompetent father could actually come up with an idea like this. Just moments ago, Lu Weiqin was scolding Qin Hai for being a panicky, reckless mess. And now, she was eating her own words. Qin Hai's two-step plan. First, about the online backlash. That's the easy part. The Liu family owns an entertainment company. We just find a few top-tier celebrities and manufacture some massive trending news. It'll definitely be way more shocking than Lu Rian's scandal. The internet's attention will shift immediately. Second, regarding Yifan's identity. The Liu family will simply adopt him for real. We have Lu Weiqin step up and officially take him in as her god-grandson. If we do that, then the relationship between Lu Rian and Yifan is perfectly justified. Finally, and most importantly, we need Chen Mo to step forward. We make him explain to the public that he was just blindly jealous and let it go to his head. He misunderstood Yifan and Lu Rian's relationship and blew everything out of proportion. He takes full responsibility, claims he will always believe in Lu Rian, and that he loves her deeply. Qin Hai explained, the first two steps are easy enough. The only issue now is whether Chen Mo will actually cooperate. Lu Weiqin thought for a moment before snapping into action. Qin Hai, I'm appointing you as the vice president of the Lu group right now. You have full authority to handle this mess. As for Chen Mo, Rian and I will figure out a way to deal with him. I want you working overnight to spin the public narrative. This was exactly what Qin Hai had been waiting for. He eagerly agreed, grabbed his tablet, and strode right out the door. As soon as Qin Hai left, Lu Weiqin asked sternly, Lu Rian, tell me the truth. Did you sleep with Yifan or not? Honestly, up until now. Lu Rian and Yifan's relationship was purely like sister and brother. But the way she treated this godbrother felt more like a lover. Lu Rian couldn't believe it. Even the grandma who doted on her the most didn't trust her now. Grandma, you have to believe me. I swear I didn't sleep with Yifan. I only see him as a little brother. If you don't believe me, I'll swear on my mother's grave. At the mention of Lu Rian's mother, Lu Weiqin's expression shifted slightly, her eyes flickering with unease. Alright, fine, but just to be safe, you should still go get checked. Take the medical proof and explain everything to Chen Mo. Checked? What proof? Lu Rian had no idea what her grandmother was talking about, until Lu Weiqin's gaze dropped to her lower stomach. That's when it hit her. Her grandmother was talking about a virginity test. 1 hour later, Lu Rian's face burned with humiliation. She headed to the old Chen family estate with the medical report in hand. Along the way, she called you countless times, but you didn't answer a single one. Lu Rian didn't know if you were just angry, or if you had fallen asleep. Right as she was making her way to the Chen estate, you finally woke up. Earlier, the intense heartbreak had caused you to cough up blood and pass out completely on the floor. Lu Rian, I have ripped you completely out of my heart. After coughing up that blood, you actually felt a lot better. It was as if you had purged all your love for her, too. The ghost of her that haunted your heart was finally gone. You looked around the brand new bridal suite and muttered to yourself, it's time to say goodbye to the past. You grabbed a bottle of red wine from the cabinet and chugged it straight from the bottle. After downing a massive gulp, you violently hurled the bottle right at your wedding photo. The glass shattered into pieces, completely destroying the picture. Then, you cracked open a second bottle. You took a few heavy swigs and stumbled into the bedroom. You tore Lu Rian's wedding dress down from its hanger and soaked it in red wine. Pulling out a lighter, you set it ablaze. This gorgeous gown, which took 6 months to craft, and was covered in countless priceless jewels, instantly went up in flames. Back then, you wanted to give her the most spectacular wedding imaginable. You even flew all the way to Europe yourself just to have a royal master tailor custom make this exact dress. But she didn't need it anymore. You grabbed the framed photo of the two of you, and tossed it right into the fire to burn with the rest. The blazing flames quickly caught the attention of the family bodyguard stationed outside. Too afraid to step inside, he shouted from the doorway, young master, are you alright? Do you need us to come in? Pack up all my things and get them out of here. Then, smash this entire place to the ground. You absolutely hated this bridal suite. In your past life, this was the exact spot where Lu Rian critically injured you, leaving you in a coma. And this very room eventually became the place where she and Yifan had their dirty little affair. Ignoring the guards completely, you walked away, chugging from the bottle as you went. You quickly left the property behind, downing the liquor. You had no idea where you were going, even though you owned properties all over the city. But nowhere feels like home anymore. That bridal suite is just the place where Lu Rian cheated on you. And the old Chen family estate is where Shen Yuchu was taken away. Every time you go back there, all those memories come flooding back, torturing you until you wish you were dead. You wander down the street all alone, like a lost ghost. So utterly lonely and desolate. You look just like a stray dog with nowhere to go, roaming the streets until the early hours of the morning. You happen to pass by a 5-star hotel. Stumbling and swaying, you make your way inside, and book yourself a presidential suite. Once you get the key card, You step into the elevator all alone. The suite is all the way up on the 66th floor. But it stops somewhere in the 50s. Suddenly, a woman with disheveled clothes and staggering steps rushes right in. The second she's inside, she furiously slams the close button, acting like some terrifying monster is chasing right behind her. You narrow your eyes, sizing her up. She looks pretty young, maybe like a fresh college grad. She's tall and slender, wearing a tight, creamy white long dress that perfectly hugs her curves. This woman standing right in front of you is an absolute knockout. Even compared to Lu Rian, she's definitely just as gorgeous. But you just take one glance and look away. You're completely wasted right now, feeling absolutely awful, and you just desperately need to crash on a bed. But this woman who just rushed in, she seems even more messed up than you are. She's swaying on her feet, her pale, delicate arms slipping right off the handrail. She completely loses her balance and falls toward you. Pure instinct kicks in, and you reach out to catch her. The second your hands touch her, it feels like you're holding a piece of flawless white jade. Her skin is incredibly soft, smooth, and glowing. It literally makes your heart skip a beat. Leaning weakly against your chest, she mutters under her breath, "Help me, please, you have to help me." You quickly realize something is very wrong. Her body is burning up, running dangerously hot. An unnatural, flushed redness is spreading across her pale skin. But before you can even process what's happening, the woman in your arms tilts her head back and kisses you forcefully. She throws both arms around your neck, pulling you down hard. You try your absolute best to restrain her. The moment the elevator dings, you rush out, carrying her straight toward your room. Once inside, the woman in your arms gets even more frantic and desperate. She starts tearing wildly at her clothes and then at yours. "Hey, lady, calm down. Shish, don't talk, just kiss me." Her lips crash into yours, silencing you completely. You stare into the eyes of this breathtaking beauty right in front of you. You're already dizzy from the alcohol, so how the hell are you supposed to resist a temptation like this? You close your eyes and completely surrender to the moment. While things are heating up for you in the hotel room, Lu Rian is getting the door slammed right in her face back at the old Chen estate. It's only after she begs and pleads relentlessly that the butler, Uncle Lee, finally tells her, "You went back to the bridal house." The moment she hears that, she races toward the house without a second thought. Chen Mo definitely still cares about me. He has to be waiting for me there. Right now, Lu Rian's heart is practically leaping with joy, and she feels a massive wave of relief. But when she finally makes it to the house, you're absolutely nowhere to be found. Instead, the place is swarming with a bunch of bodyguards. They're violently swinging baseball bats around, smashing absolutely every single decoration into pieces. Lu Rian is so furious she nearly coughs up blood. She screams at the top of her lungs, "Stop! What on earth are you doing? Who told you to smash this? Get the hell out of here right now." The bodyguards obviously knew who Lu Rian was. She almost became the lady of this house. A bodyguard replied, "The young master ordered us to smash it." They didn't know who to listen to. What if you ended up getting back together with Lu Rian in the end? Would they be punished later? It was just too hard for them. Don't make me say it twice. Get out, now. Seeing this, the bodyguards could only drop their clubs and walk out. Once the bodyguards left, she collapsed onto the floor. This time, she finally understood. You were serious. You weren't just throwing a temper tantrum. You really wanted to break up with her. Chen Mo, why? Why won't you even give me a chance to explain? Lu Rian sat on the carpet in agony. Soon, she noticed that pool of blood on the rug. The bright red blood sprayed across the pure white fleece blanket looked exceptionally glaring. He coughed up blood. It was Chen Mo's blood. What on earth did I do to make him so incredibly furious? Lu Rian sat helplessly on the floor, weeping bitterly. At this moment, she was like a fallen leaf mercilessly swept away by the autumn wind. Tragic yet beautiful, and utterly powerless. Her eyes were filled with absolute despair and grief. Meanwhile, on the luxurious bed inside the presidential suite, you and that strange woman were still deeply intertwined in a night of wild passion. 1 hour later, the effects of her drug completely wore off. Her whole body went limp on the bed, and you finally found your release. Under the morning sunlight, she was the first to wake up. She looked like a blooming white lotus, pure and incredibly dazzling. She appeared even more pure and noble. That faint, rosy blush looked like a shy flush of a young girl, adding a touch of delicate charm. It was also as if to prove she had blossomed from a girl into a woman. Lu Mengyao looked at everything in front of her. She completely froze for a second, only to realize she was lying in an unfamiliar bed. And there was a man she didn't even know right next to her. Her first instinct was to scream, but she immediately covered her mouth with her hand. She was terrified of waking him up, and being taken advantage of all over again. As it turned out, Lu Mengyao was a graduating senior at the Magic City Theater Academy. Right before graduation, she had signed with Hongyi Entertainment to make her debut. Just yesterday, she accepted an invitation from her senior, Zhang Jia, to come to Hangzhou for a performance. After the show ended, Zhang Jia brought her out to meet a few investors. Before coming, he had hinted to her that she needed to loosen up tonight and make some necessary sacrifices. She never imagined that loosening up meant selling herself, using her body to please wealthy backers. Of course, she refused and tried to leave right then and there. But Zhang Jia wouldn't let her. Finally, he took a step back and told her to just offer one toast before leaving. She thought everything would be fine after finishing that glass of wine. Little did she know that was just the beginning of her nightmare. That drink was spiked. She quickly lost consciousness and was sent up to a suite to wait for a sponsor to enjoy her. Fortunately, she had a strong will. By the time the backer came in, she just threw up all over him while he went to take a shower. That's how she managed to escape the room, but who would have thought you'd be the one to get so lucky? Looking at you fast asleep on the bed, Lu Mengyao's memories of last night slowly came rushing back. It finally hit her, she was the one who threw herself at him. Recalling the absolute madness of last night, a deep blush crept across her face. What do I do now? Just as she was completely at a loss, she took another look at you, realizing that the man who took her innocence was actually incredibly handsome. Her gaze lingered on your face, and she whispered softly, "Thank God it was you. Whatever, I'll let you have this one. If it had been that creepy old man, I definitely would have killed myself." Barefoot, Mengyao stepped out of bed. Her pale, flawless skin made her look like a goddess straight out of Greek mythology. With light, quiet steps, she carefully picked up her torn clothes scattered across the floor. She threw them on haphazardly, but they still couldn't completely cover her delicate figure. Left with no choice, she had to slip her coat over her shoulders. She muttered to herself, "I'm even stealing his clothes. Isn't that a little messed up?" She hesitated for a moment. Then, she took the necklace off her neck, placed it on the nightstand, and left a quick note. Finally, she gave a bitter smile. "Does this make me the one paying for it?" She covered her face, not knowing whether to laugh or cry. Wrapping her coat tightly around herself, she started heading out the door. But just as she reached the exit, she stopped in her tracks. She turned back gracefully, casting one last, complicated look at you, still sleeping like a log, as if trying to burn your face. Deep into her memory, a moment later, without looking back, she opened the door and left. As for you, you slept right through the morning, not waking up until the sun was high in the sky. By the time you opened your eyes, there wasn't a single trace of her left. That's when you realized she had already slipped away. You glanced at the nightstand and spotted the necklace resting there, along with that piece of paper. It read, "Forget about me. I took your coat. Keep the necklace as compensation." You picked up the necklace, holding it tight in your palm. Bringing it to your nose, you took a gentle breath, breathing in her lingering, sweet scent. Then, your eyes fell on the crimson stain on the bedsheets. A profound smirk crept onto your face. Sleeping with me and then trying to run? Not a chance. You pulled out your phone and dialed your bodyguard, Lu Hao. That woman who came into my room last night. I want her entire background file in exactly 1 hour. And bring me a fresh set of clothes. Without waiting for his reply, you hung up the phone and headed straight to the bathroom for a shower. Meanwhile, on the other end of the line, Lu Hao was scared half to death. What? Someone broke into the young master's room last night? Quick, pull up the security footage. Find out exactly who got into his room. Just as you finished freshening up, your bodyguard walked in with a change of clothes and a file. What did you find? You asked while getting dressed, not even bothering to look at the documents. Lu Hao spoke up respectfully, "Young master. We found her, the woman who went into your room last night. Her name is Lu Mengyao. She's currently a college student. She studies at the prestigious Modu Drama Academy. Yesterday, someone invited her down to Hangcheng for a performance. Afterward, she was drugged at a banquet. Where is she now? She left on the high-speed train early this morning. So she's already back in Modu? You ask, who invited her? We looked into it. His name is Zhang Jia. He's also a graduate of the Drama Academy. Lu Mengyao's senior. So you're saying he's the one who drugged her? Lu Hao replies with certainty, most likely, yes. Even if he didn't do it himself, he's definitely an accomplice. He was the one playing matchmaker. You let out a cold scoff. Your face is filled with murderous intent. Playing matchmaker? To put it bluntly, he's just a damn pimp. Whose bed was he planning to send her to? Lu Hao says awkwardly, actually, you know this person, sir. And your relationship with him isn't exactly shallow. You were just putting on your coat. When you hear Lu Hao say that you actually know the guy, you look genuinely surprised. What? I actually know him? Spit it out. Who is it? I can't believe I actually know a piece of trash like that. Lu Hao shoots you an awkward glance and stammers. Who is Third Master Qin? For a split second, you draw a blank on who that is. Then, a name suddenly pops into your head. Wait, is it Qin Bo? Qin Hai's younger brother? Lu Hao replies. Yes, sir. That's him. Just the mention of that guy makes you grit your teeth in sheer hatred. Qin Bo is a greedy, lecherous bastard. He's constantly throwing the Chen family's name around. Throwing his weight around town. Originally, he was just a low-level security guard at one of the Lu family's subsidiaries. Later on, Qin Hai came to you, begging for a job for Qin Bo. Wanting to suck up to your future father-in-law, you went ahead and placed Qin Bo right at the company headquarters. You handed him a cushy job as the head of the logistics department. But the moment Qin Bo got a taste of power, He took advantage of it and shoved his entire extended family right into the headquarters. The Chin family ran wild in the company, constantly taking kickbacks, accepting bribes, and lining their own pockets. They turned the entire company into a toxic mess. You never expected that Chinbo, who started off as a lowly security guard, would actually turn into some big shot sugar daddy. Shen Yuchu had complained to you about him before, but because you didn't want to put Chin Hai in a tough spot, and out of respect for Lu Rian, you just kept telling Shen Yuchu to swallow her pride and endure it. You never imagined that Chinbo would actually dare to set his sights on Shen Yuchu next. He blatantly harassed her, though of course, he only ever had the guts to be all talk. You didn't deal with him in your past life, but in this life, he's going to be the first one on your chopping block. Then I say to Lu Hao, take me to the office. Yibo Tower is the most famous skyscraper in Hangcheng. The entire building belongs to the Chen family, and it serves as the headquarters for the Chen family group. You don't bring any bodyguards with you. Getting out of the car from a distance, you walk toward the building all by yourself. But as soon as you step into the lobby, you're blocked by a fierce, meaty-faced security guard. He sounds incredibly impatient, acting as if you owe him $5 million. Hey, what's your business here? Just barging in without a single word? You just barge right in? Do you have any idea where you are? This security guard was completely disheveled, not even wearing his uniform hat. The security guards and greeters are the face of this entire building. Clearly, having a guy like him represent your headquarters means this place might as well shut down for good. Got it? I'm heading up to the Chen Group's headquarters. Oh, you're going up just because you said so? Who do you think you are? Do you even have an appointment? You scoffed. You never expected that you'd actually need an appointment to enter your own company. Sure, it had been a while since you last visited the office, but employees recognizing their boss is the bare minimum. Clearly, this guard couldn't even manage that. This entire building belongs to me. I'll go wherever I damn well please. And it's none of your business. The guard laughed at your response. Oh, damn, you've got some nerve, you little pretty boy. Who do you think you are, Chen Mo? Ha, if you're Chen Mo, then I'm his dead dad, Chen Hongwen. How about that? Come on, hurry up and call me daddy. Your eyes instantly filled with a murderous glare. You could tolerate insults directed at yourself, but daring to insult your late father meant this guy was as good as dead. Just as you were about to call your bodyguards inside, another security guard came sprinting over. He took one look at you, and immediately stood at attention, saluting you with absolute respect. I am so sorry, young master. We had no idea you were coming today. We didn't arrange a proper welcome for you. This second guard looked to be in his 40s. He had a sharp, professional appearance, and his uniform was spotless and perfectly tailored. Compared to him, the first guard was absolute trash. What the hell, old Ma? What kind of nonsense are you spouting? Your young master? Are you screwing with me? As if the eldest son of the Chen family would go out without 7 or 8 bodyguards. He's no young master. The arrogant guard sneered, looking completely dismissive. You completely ignored him. Looking straight at the older guard, you asked coldly, how do you recognize me? The man quickly replied, you visited the company a few years ago, sir. I had the honor of seeing you then. Hearing old Ma speak with such absolute certainty, the fat, thuggish guard froze. Realizing this wasn't a joke, his thick skull finally processed the situation. Wait, no way. Is he really Chen Mo? He took a closer look at you, and this time, he finally felt it. That innate aura of nobility and sheer power radiating from you. But even after realizing you were actually Chen Mo, the sleazy guard didn't look scared at all. Instead, he flashed a greasy smile and strutted right up to you. Ha ha ha, brother-in-law. So I finally get to meet you in person. I'm Lu Rian's cousin, Zhao Kai, the vice captain of security here. We're family, man. Zhao Kai leaned in and whispered slyly into your ear. After saying that, he stuck out his massive gut and threw up a ridiculous, sloppy salute. Zhao Kai was the son of Chin Hai's sister. Thanks to his constant brawling, he was expelled before even finishing middle school. He had spent years drifting around as a complete loser. God knows when he had been shoved onto the company payroll. Right now, the sour stench of sweat rolling off him was absolutely nauseating. It smelled like he hadn't taken a shower in a good 10 or 15 days, and combined with Zhao Kai's reeking cigarette stench and nasty bad breath, it honestly made you want to throw up. You couldn't stand it for another second. You quickly shoved him away and backed up to get some fresh air. Then, you turned to old Ma and said, go and get everyone in the security team over here right now. Even though he had no idea what you, the young master, were planning as a proper employee. All he needed to do was immediately follow his boss's orders. Meanwhile, Zhao Kai suddenly started to panic a little. 2 minutes later, a squad of security guards jogged into the lobby in a neat formation. Led by old Ma, these dozen or so guys lined up neatly into 2 rows. They stood right in front of you. You gave them a deadpan look and asked, is everyone here? You suddenly dropping a question like that made old Ma hesitate, completely unsure of how to answer. He cautiously glanced over at Zhao Kai. You never expected Zhao Kai's toxic grip on the security team to be this strong. Old Ma didn't even dare to tell the truth in front of him. You were the head of the Chen family. Yet in your own company, you somehow carry less weight than a little street punk. You furiously snapped, I am asking you, why the hell are you looking at him? Answer me, what, does his family own this company? Who exactly pays your damn salary? To be honest, this was all your own fault. You were the one who spoiled Lu Ruyan's family way too much in the past. Old Ma was scared half to death. He immediately straightened up and said, I am so sorry, young master. I will always belong to the Chen family. You can completely trust my loyalty. You pointed at Old Ma, gesturing for him to step forward. You tell me, what exactly is going on with the security team right now? I only want to hear the absolute truth. Just give it to me straight. You don't have to worry about them coming after you for revenge. Today, I am going to purge every single one of these black sheep. Hearing you take such a firm stand, Old Ma's eyes lit up, a glimmer of hope finally flashing in his eyes. Young master, currently, the security team. Except for my squad, which is entirely made up of retired military veterans, the other two squads are just friends and relatives of the Qin family. Most of them are just deadbeats like Zhao Kai. They do absolutely nothing around the company. They refuse to listen to management and they don't even help with security tasks. Most of the time, they just hide in the guardhouse playing cards all day. Hearing this, the burning anger in your eyes was ready to explode. This is absolute bullshit. Am I paying them salaries just to screw around? To tell you the honest truth, sir, I used to be the captain of the security team. But the moment the Qin family showed up, they immediately kicked me out and made Zhao Kai's father the captain instead. But ever since he took over, he's barely even shown his face at the company. Your expression grew even darker. This is the Chen family headquarters. How could our security force turn into such a joke? What about the safety of our employees and all our highly confidential company files? How can we guarantee their security at all? Finally, you gently patted Old Ma on the shoulder. Old Ma, I'm so sorry for everything you guys have been through. It's all my fault. I was the one who let them get away with this. That's exactly why things got this bad. It almost destroyed what so many generations of the Chen family worked so hard to build. Hearing you say this out loud, Old Ma was so overwhelmed with emotion that he nearly burst into tears. He had been working for the Chen family for over 20 years. He deeply cared about the family. Honestly, with his level of experience and skills, he could have easily left for another company a long time ago. Why else would he stay here to put up with this agonizing bullshit? I'm just glad you finally understand, young master. It's not too late, not at all. There's still time. You know exactly what he means. Just then, Shen Yuchu appears behind you with a few assistants and secretaries, asking, Chen Mo, what are you doing here at the company? Why haven't you gone upstairs? She is like a dazzling star, elegant and poised. Slowly walking up to your side, her eyes reveal nothing but intimacy and deep care. Today, she's wearing a professional business suit, layered with a custom black blazer, perfectly showing off her tall, graceful figure. Seeing Shen Yuchu again, your nose tingles and your eyes instantly well up with tears. What's wrong? Are you upset? Did these security guards bully you? Shen Yuchu assumes that these guards didn't give you any respect and embarrassed you. She knows all too well just how rogue these guards can be. If it weren't for your previous orders forbidding it, she would have dealt with them a long time ago. No, in Shen Yuchu's eyes, you have always been like a child. One who never grows up. Sis, I was wrong. I couldn't tell good from bad and I've caused you so much trouble. Shen Yuchu glances at Old Ma, who gives her a confirming look. He instantly understands. Chen Mo, you are my closest family. Whatever choice you make, I will always support you. You were moved to tears by her words. She isn't just saying that. In your past life, you only made a single phone call to her, and she handed over full control of the company. Without a hint of resistance, she truly, unconditionally supported your choices. In the end, when you were beaten into a vegetative state, it was Shen Yuchu who meticulously cared for you. You secretly vow in your heart, Sis, in my last life, I failed you. I didn't protect you. This time, I will never let those parasites get away with it. Call the legal team, then call the police. Have all of them arrested. Make them spit out every single cent they swallowed. You erupt in a furious rage inside the chairman's office. Looking at the documents Shen Yuchu provided, you slam your hand on the desk in anger. It turns out Shen Yuchu hadn't been idle. Even though she couldn't intervene directly, every illegal and corrupt act these people committed was meticulously recorded by her informants. She was just waiting for the day you would finally wake up. In your previous life, you never looked at these whistleblower reports. In this life, they've finally been placed right in front of you. After reading through them, you realize just how outrageous the Qin family really was. And Lu Ruyan's third uncle, Qin Bo, is even more despicable. He was the head of logistics for the entire company. Every single purchase had to go through his hands. Not only did all the suppliers have to shower him with gifts, but they also had to pay him kickbacks. Sis, what kind of monsters are these people? How could I have been so incredibly stupid? Just hit me, beat some sense into me so you can feel better. As you read further, you wish you could slap yourself across the face. Qin Bo had been harassing female employees at the company, groping them, constantly sexually harassing them. When Shen Yuchu found out, she specifically called Qin Bo into her office for a talk. But surprisingly, Qin Bo wasn't afraid at all. He completely looked down on Shen Yuchu, seeing her as just an adopted daughter. He actually dared to target her. Qin Bo put the word out back then, that as long as Shen Yuchu was willing, he'd go straight home and get a divorce. Then he'd marry her, making their two families even closer. Shen Yuchu was furious. She actually came to you about this. But back then, you only had eyes for Lu Rian. You didn't take it seriously at all. Once Qin Bo found out, he got even worse. If it wasn't for the protection of some of the Chen family elders, Qin Bo might have actually gotten his hands on her. Well, alright, I'm completely fine now, aren't I? It's all in the past. The best thing is that you've finally come to your senses. I'm not mad at all anymore. Shen Yuchu stroked your hair, not bringing up those unpleasant memories from back then. She just laughed it all off. Oh, right. Are you really planning to send those people to the police station? Of course. Not only am I making them spit out every last penny, but I'm also going to send them to jail. I hope they spend the rest of their lives rotting in prison. How could you ever let them off the hook? Especially that Qin Bo. You were going to make him regret ever being born. Okay, as long as you're serious about this, I'll arrange for someone to handle the rest. After Shen Yuchu finished speaking, she took the evidence and went to file a police report. Wang Jing, the general manager of the company's legal department, a serious and even somewhat old-fashioned woman, knocked on the door of the chairman's office. Chairman, I am Wang Jing, general manager of the group's legal department. You asked for me? Wang Jing spoke stiffly and emotionlessly, like a cold machine. Her attitude toward you was even a bit distant and disgusted. You had no idea how you had ever offended her. You didn't even know this Wang Jing. She wore thick glasses, with her capable short hair resting on her shoulders. Her facial features were delicate, though her face was quite thin. Overall, even though she couldn't compare to Shen Yuchu, she was still definitely a rare, top-tier beauty. Manager Wang, I need you to help me draft an equity transfer agreement. Wang Jing was a bit surprised. Didn't Shen Yuchu say this idiot had finally woken up? Why is he still giving away shares? Is it because you want to arrest the Qin family relatives and you're afraid Lu Rian will get mad? So you're adding more shares on top of the original bride price? You really are throwing away a fortune just to make a beauty smile. Wang Jing assumed you were going to transfer the shares to Lu Rian. So she asked you, Chairman, how many shares are you transferring to Lu Rian? She and Shen Yuchu were best friends. She had always urged Shen Yuchu to quit and leave the Chen family. She knew exactly how hard Shen Yuchu worked to save the Chen family business. Yet you were tossing the money Shen Yuchu earned to the Lu family for absolutely nothing. It made Wang Jing so furious she was about to have a heart attack. Puzzled, you asked, what shares to Lu Rian? What the heck are you talking about? Aren't you transferring them to Lu Rian? Of course not. I broke off the engagement with her. Why the hell would I give her shares? Do you think I'm a total idiot? Giving her tens of billions as a wedding gift, when I'm not even the guy she's sleeping with. Hearing you say this, Wang Jing was finally relieved. You suddenly slapped your thigh. You've been reborn, yet you actually forgot about the betrothal gifts? Oh, right, you just reminded me. The shares and properties weren't given to the Lu family, but the bride price and some rare antiques were sent over in advance. Manager Wang, send a notice to the Lu family when you get back. Tell them to return the money and all the gifts. Wang Jing looked at you like you were a complete stranger. Was this really the lovesick fool she'd heard so much about? Wait, if you're not giving them to Lu Rian, who exactly are you transferring these shares to? Did some other girl catch your eye? Wang Jing was utterly amazed. Have you finally come to your senses? Giving it to one instead of the other. Are these shares burning a hole in your pocket? Do you really have to give them away? If you're that desperate, just give them to me. You just smiled faintly, leaned close to her ear, and whispered 3 words. Wang Jing gasped, caught between utter shock and absolute thrill. But this time, she agreed without a second thought. Alright, not a problem at all. I'll go draft the papers right now. I'll have it done in a flash. She scrambled up and rushed back to the legal department, completely losing her usual professional composure. What's the rush? Are you afraid I'll change my mind? Wang Jing froze for a second. Honestly, she really was terrified you'd back out. She just wanted to get that transfer agreement signed as soon as possible. Wait, do you even know how many shares you're transferring? Oh, right. How much are you actually transferring? 25%. Wait, how much? 25% of the shares. Wang Jing was absolutely dumbfounded. That was basically the entire net worth of the Lu family. Back when you offered them to Lu Rian, it was only 8%. She was terrified you were just joking around. But when you gave her a firm, reassuring look, she finally knew you were dead serious. She turned back around, her face filled with absolute determination, walking with steady, calm purpose. Ever since the chairman's seat was handed down to you, this massive office had been sitting empty for years. Other than those first few months when you popped in to sign some paperwork, you barely ever showed up. You took a long, quiet look around the room. The layout was exactly the same as it was 6 years ago. Not a single thing had been moved. Yibo Tower was the tallest building in Hangzhou, standing right at the very top. You looked down over the entire city. The cars and people on the streets looked just like tiny ants. In that exact moment, you finally understood why so many people chased so desperately after wealth and power. That godlike feeling of standing at the absolute peak, looking down on the rest of the world, it was truly intoxicating enough to drive anyone crazy. Every time you came here, you pictured your father working at that very desk. How he'd stress out over a tough problem or light up with pure joy when a huge project succeeded. After your parents passed away, you poured every single ounce of your energy into desperately trying to please Lu Rian. It was almost like you were using that obsession to numb the deep grief in your heart. But today, the chairman's office, which hadn't welcomed a guest in years, was incredibly busy. Soon enough, the front desk called up. Chin Hai was here to see you. Honestly, the guy really knew his stuff. In just a single night, he completely diverted the public's attention to a massive celebrity scandal. It completely buried the petty drama between Lu Rian and Yifan. Aside from a few random people online, nobody really cared anymore. Because of that, even though the Lu family's stock tanked pretty hard this morning, it wasn't nearly as disastrous as people expected. But this mess needs to be cleaned up once and for all. The internet never forgets. Someone might dig it up someday. If it blows up, there won't be enough celebrities around to take the fall for it. So, the Lu family sent Chin Hai over to negotiate with you. They want you to put out a statement, saying it was all just a misunderstanding with Lu Rian and that you two have made up and are back together. Originally, Lu Rian was supposed to come apologize in person, but ever since she left last night, the Lu family hasn't been able to reach her at all. With no other choice, they had to send Chin Hai. After all, you used to give him a lot of respect, even letting so many useless bums from the Chin family work at your company. The moment Chin Hai arrived downstairs at the Yibo building, he saw his younger siblings, along with his nephews and nieces, and even some childhood friends, all being loaded into police cars. The police had to bring in several large transport trucks just to haul away all dozens of them. Chin Hai was absolutely dumbfounded. What the hell is going on here? He quickly rushed over with a few bodyguards and blocked their path. Sis, third brother, what happened here? Why are you guys getting arrested? Chin Bo looked absolutely miserable. Seeing Chin Hai was like seeing a savior. Bro, you gotta save me. Go talk to Chen Mo. Tell him to cut us some slack and let me go. Zhao Kai and the others started crying out too. Uncle, please save me. Chen Mo has lost his damn mind. He completely turned on us. He had that adopted girl call the cops to arrest us all. Make him let us go. Or else, tell Rian to call off the wedding. Chin Hai finally understood what was happening. It seemed Chen Mo was still furious. He was making an example out of Chin Hai's relatives. He immediately turned to the cops. Hold on a minute, I'll go talk to Chen Mo right now. You guys will be fine. But the police weren't going to listen to his nonsense. They forcefully shoved everyone into the cruisers, turned on the sirens and sped away right past him. Chin Hai was so pissed he almost cursed them out, but he didn't have time to worry about his family's safety. He led his men and stormed straight into the building, only to be immediately blocked by old Ma. It wasn't until you gave the okay that Chin Hai was allowed to go upstairs alone. When he saw you, he was still putting on airs, acting like the all-important father-in-law. Chen Mo, listen to me. You're completely in the wrong here. Those people are your elders and your family. Even if they did something wrong, you should have just told me. I could have handled it. Why on earth would you bother the police? Did that Chen Yuchu put you up to this? Let me tell you something. Once you and Rian get married, her relatives become your relatives too. Your future kids will literally share blood with them. But that adopted girl is totally different. At the end of the day, she's an outsider. She's not from our family, and she doesn't even share our last name. How can you take her side? If Rian finds out about this, she is going to be furious. Call the cops right now, and tell them to let everyone go. Then, I'll book a few tables, and you just go over, offer a toast, and apologize. Then we can just let this whole thing go. You sneer, watching him put on his little show. You really want to see just how this Chin Hai can twist the truth and spin his lies. Chin Hai rambles on for ages before finally realizing something isn't right. Why is he the only one running his mouth while you haven't said a single word? Chen Mo, why aren't you saying anything? It's just a minor issue, there's no need to go to war over it. A minor issue? You are furious. This Chin Hai really knows how to gaslight people. It was exactly like this in your past life, too. He always used Lu Rian to keep you in line, because you were terrified of making Lu Rian angry, no matter what Chin Hai demanded. You agreed to it all. And that's exactly what drove the company into the ground. Your relatives ganged up to embezzle hundreds of millions of company funds. And you call that a minor issue? Throwing wild, filthy parties right in the office. Is that a minor issue too? Harassing my employees in broad daylight. Getting totally handsy with them. The security cameras caught every single second of it. Do you still dare to call that a minor issue? Finally, you slam your hands on the table, standing up fiercely and glaring daggers at Chin Hai. Actually, none of these things are the real reason you're so angry. At its core, it's because Chin Bo actually dared to lay his eyes on Shen Yuchu. In this life, Shen Yuchu is your entire world. She is the one line no one crosses. Chin Hai jumps in shock at your sudden, explosive outburst. For a long moment, he's completely at a loss for words. After all this time, you had always been obedient, submissive, and perfectly well behaved in front of him. You never would have dared to throw attitude at him like this. Is that right? I had absolutely no idea about any of this. You should have told me sooner. If I had warned them in advance, they never would have dared to do such things. As if Chin Hai didn't know. Of all the money Chin Bo had embezzled, the lion's share was kicked right back to him as a bribe. He was the one raking in the most cash, and he didn't even have to get his hands dirty. Hearing his excuses, you realize this bastard is still trying to blame you. So, from what you're saying, Mr. Chin, you're blaming me for not spelling out the company rules to you clearly enough in advance? Are they 3-year-old toddlers? Do they still not know basic right from wrong? Do they really not know what is illegal? No. How could I possibly blame you? They are absolutely in the wrong here. Look, how about you do me a favor, give me some face. And just let them go. I promise you, they will never, ever do this again. You have absolutely no patience left to waste on his nonsense. The Chin family relatives are going down for good, especially Chin Bo. He can rot in prison for the rest of his miserable life. You state coldly, Mr. Chin, you can save your breath. There is no way in hell I'm letting those people go. The only reason I let you come upstairs is because I have a job for your Liu family, and if you screw it up, I'll sue the entire Liu family right alongside them. Chin Hai isn't an idiot. He immediately catches your tone. You are completely out for blood. He is cursing Lu Rian to death in his head right now. Why the hell did she have to keep a toy boy around? She ruined a perfectly good marriage, and now she's dragged the entire Chin family down with her. Chen Mo, just tell me, even though your uncle here doesn't have much say in the Lu family, I'll absolutely back up whatever you ask for, and pass the message along for you. The bride price I transferred to the Lu family before, along with all the jewelry and paintings. When exactly is your Lu family going to return them? Chin Hai was totally caught off guard. He actually thought Chen Mo was going to talk about Lu Rian and Yifan, and demand an explanation from the Lu family. He was still dreaming that as long as the Lu family handled the situation perfectly and helped you blow off some steam, then your engagement with Lu Rian could just go on as planned, and his own relatives in the Chin family would be saved. Chen Mo, listen to your uncle. There is absolutely nothing going on between Yifan and Rian. It's all just a huge misunderstanding. We gave Rian a really harsh scolding when we found her yesterday, and she explained everything. She honestly just sees Yifan as a younger brother. You know how things are in the Lu family. Rian only has a younger sister, and there are no boys in the family. That's why she took Yifan in as a little brother. You two grew up together, and Rian loves you so much. How could she possibly do anything to betray you? It would have been better if Chin Hai hadn't brought up Yifan and Lu Rian. The moment he mentioned them, it dragged you right back to that night. Lu Rian and Yifan, right there in your bridal suite, locked in a desperate, passionate kiss. And in the end, just to save Yifan, Lu Rian ruthlessly dealt you a fatal blow. Just thinking about all of that made your already dead and shattered heart burn with absolute agony. Shut up. Do you think I'm completely blind? Who she really loves, don't you think I'd know? Go out there and ask around right now. Who in their right mind would believe your bullshit? Chin Hai, I'm starting to realize you're not totally useless after all. With just your bare lips and teeth, you can literally talk the dead back to life. You've actually got some real skills. Otherwise, you'd never have been able to leech off the Lu family and secure your seat at their table. Chin Hai had never been humiliated by you like this before. It was a literal slap to the face. He shot up from his seat, pointing right at you, his fingers trembling with pure rage. You completely ignored him. The current Chin Hai posed absolutely no threat to you anymore. Unless you want me to have someone break your fingers, you'd better put that hand down right now. Chin Hai sensed your ruthless intent. He silently lowered his finger, then sat back down in his chair and said, Chen Mo, I can totally understand how you feel. A man lives for his pride. Having your pride trampled and spat on like this, it's only natural to be furious. If you need to vent, I'll call Rian over here right now. You can punish her however you see fit, and our Lu family won't say a single word against it. You wondered to yourself, how could Chin Hai possibly understand this feeling? Was he speaking from personal experience? Did Lu Rian's mother actually cheat on Chin Hai too? You shook your head. I really don't think you're getting it. Lu Rian and I officially broke off our engagement last night. Who she likes, or who she decides to be with, has absolutely nothing to do with me anymore. But anything that belongs to my Chen family, the Lu family must return completely untouched. We're done here. I'm done talking. You can leave now. In all the years Chin Hai has known you, this is the first time you've had a conversation like this. You controlled the entire narrative, leaving him completely powerless. He didn't even get the chance to mention the real reason he came here today. Now that he was being kicked out, Chin Hai decided to make one last desperate attempt. He wanted to discuss the press conference with you, but right at that moment, Wang Jing burst into the room holding a transfer agreement, completely ignoring Chin Hai. She excitedly rushed over to your side and said, Chairman, please review this again. It's the agreement to transfer 25% of the Chen Group's shares. If everything looks good, please sign it right away. Before you could even reply, Chin Hai jumped out of his seat in shock. He snatched the transfer documents and frantically skimmed through them. What? You're giving away 25% of the company's shares to Shen Yuchu for absolutely nothing? No way. Absolutely not. I will not allow this. I absolutely refuse. With that, he tore the agreement to shreds. You were completely stunned by his outburst and actions. Only then did Wang Jing realize there was someone else in the room. She suddenly regretted bursting in so recklessly and blurting out highly confidential company information. But honestly, the whole situation was just so unbelievable. Wang Jing still felt like she was dreaming. To help out her best friend, she had spent barely 15 minutes drafting these equity documents, hoping to strike while the iron was hot and lock this deal down. She was just too excited and incredibly happy for Shen Yuchu. She hadn't even gotten the chance to tell Shen Yuchu about it yet. Wang Jing recognized Chin Hai. She knew he was Lu Rian's father and instantly guessed why he was there. Wang Jing knew exactly what had happened last night. She never liked Lu Rian to begin with, and after finding out about her cheating, she was absolutely disgusted by her. Because of that, Wang Jing shot Lu Rian's father a look of pure contempt. What does this have to do with you? Who do you think you are to disagree? Get out of here right now. Get out. Wang Jing was furious. It took effort to get those documents printed. And now she had to print a whole new copy. What if you changed your mind in the meantime? Chen Mo, listen to me. 25% of the shares is not a small amount. You really need to think this through. If Rian finds out about this, there will be absolutely zero chance for you two to get back together. Chin Hai put on a fake expression of deep concern for you, but in reality, he was only looking out for himself. You pinched the bridge of your nose, fighting back your anger. You told Wang Jing to step out and print another copy of the share transfer agreement. Mr. Chin, whatever I had with Lu Rian is already dead. Why the hell would I care what she thinks? Let me guess, you still want me to put that two-timing trash on a pedestal and make her the lady of the Chen family? Chen Mo, if you despise Lu Rian that much, I still have another daughter. What about Lu Rushui, Rian's younger sister? She's had a crush on you since she was a little girl, remember? Rushui is a much sweeter girl than Rian. She has a much better personality. Both of them are absolutely gorgeous, each more stunning than the other. She hasn't been in the country these past few years. You haven't seen her. She's all grown up now. She's blossomed into a beautiful young woman, truly breathtaking. She's every bit as beautiful as her sister. And I happen to know, she hasn't had a single boyfriend all these years. She's been studying at an all-girls school in Europe, without a single guy around her. She is absolutely pure. How about I marry her off to you? You never could have imagined that Chin Hai would actually come up with such a ridiculous idea. When it comes to Lu Rushui, of course you know her. The two of you used to play together all the time when you were kids. It's just that later on, you only had eyes for Lu Rian, so Lu Rushui went abroad. In your past life, when you married Lu Rian, Lu Rushui came back just once. As soon as the wedding was over, she flew right back to Europe. The very last time you saw her. No, wait, the last time you heard her voice, you were already in a coma. Even now, you still remember how Lu Rushui threw herself over you, crying her eyes out, absolutely heartbroken. It was only then that you realized Lu Rushui was actually in love with you too. She went abroad because she just couldn't bear the fact that you were so deeply in love with Lu Rian, flaunting your romance in front of her every single day. When she found out you were paralyzed, Lu Rushui rushed back to the country and got into a huge fight with Lu Rian. She even slapped her. Lu Rushui wanted to take you abroad for treatment, but Lu Rian stopped her. Lu Rian even banned her from ever visiting you again. In the end, it seems Lu Rian forced Lu Rushui out of the country once more. And from that day on, there was never any news of Lu Rushui again. If you have even a shred of sympathy left for the Lu family, it's entirely because of Lu Rushui. You really didn't expect Chin Hai to actually treat his own biological daughter like a piece of meat, putting a price tag on her. He's acting like an absolute animal. No wonder Lu Rian turned out the way she did. It's all because she has a father like him. Are you some kind of pimp? What do you think your daughter is? A gift you can just hand over to anyone? Get out. Get the hell out of my office, right now. Despite you yelling at him, Chin Hai stubbornly clung to his absurd idea. Chen Mo, just think about it. This is a total win-win for both the Chen family and the Lu family. You snatch up the landline and call your secretary. Send security up here. Throw this guy out. In the end, Chin Hai literally had to be dragged out by the guards. Right after Chin Hai was thrown out, Shen Yuchu hurried over after hearing the commotion. Little brother, what got you so fired up? Don't be so angry. Getting worked up like this is bad for your health. You let out a helpless sigh. Sister, you have no idea. The things that Guy Chin Hai said were absolutely infuriating. He's completely shameless. Now I finally understand why Lu Rian can't tell right from wrong. The apple really doesn't fall far from the rotten tree. Shen Yuchu walks up behind you, placing her soft, delicate hands on your shoulders and gently massages them. You still remember that your mother used to do the exact same thing whenever your father got angry. Mom would walk up behind him and give him a massage. comforted by her touch. Dad's anger would quickly fade away. Who would have thought that now? Times have changed, and it's just the two of them. She said, all right now, as long as we kick them out, it's fine. It's not like we'll have anything to do with the Liu family anymore. Out of sight, out of mind. Yeah, I know. Thanks, sis. By the way, how are things going at the company? Have all the people from the Chin family been dealt with? Everyone who needed to go is gone. I have the legal team following up on it. Now that everyone in the company knows those scumbags were arrested, they're practically ready to set off fireworks to celebrate. Hearing this, you feel a surge of emotion. You hold your sister's hands. Sis, this is all my fault. It was my stupid mistake that made everyone in the company suffer along with me. Especially you. I almost got you hurt. It's okay. It's all in the past. As long as you're safe, I'd do absolutely anything for you. You have a soft spot for Shen Yuchu's gentleness. In front of everyone else, she's the strict and ruthless Black Rose. But in front of you, she's always as sweet and obedient as a loving little wife. Sis, I'm planning to give everyone at the headquarters a 25% raise. Plus an extra month's bonus. Think of it as compensation for what they went through. What do you think? Shen Yuchu doesn't even hesitate. She nods eagerly. Of course we can. You've just taken over the company and cleared out all the bad apples. And now you're giving them raises. You're showing both authority and kindness. It's the perfect move. Receiving Shen Yuchu's praise, you break into a relieved smile. Sis, there's one more thing. You have to say yes. My sweet brother, I'll support you in whatever you do for the company. Don't you worry. So you promise, sis? You have to keep your word. Shen Yuchu nods. Of course. I, Shen Yuchu, always keep my promises. Especially when it's a promise to you. You flash a sly, triumphant smile. Glad to hear it. A little while later, Wang Jing walks back in holding a share transfer agreement. She doesn't say much this time. She just smiles and winks at Shen Yuchu, looking like she's in on a wonderful secret. You take the agreement and quickly scan through it. Then, without a moment's hesitation, you sign it. Once done, you hand the pen to Shen Yuchu while playfully covering the text on the page. And tell her to sign it too. Even though Shen Yuchu is a bit confused, she trusts that her little brother and her best friend would never team up to hurt her. She signs her name swiftly and neatly. Once everything is set in stone, Wang Jing lets out a sigh of relief. She runs up to Shen Yuchu in sheer excitement. Congratulations, Yuchu. You're the richest woman in Zhejiang province now. Wang Jing was acting like she just won 100 billion herself. She was absolutely thrilled, while Shen Yuchu was still completely lost. Cover clearly read, share transfer agreement. And the shares were actually 25%. 25% of the Chen Group. As the actual manager of the Chen family's company, she knew perfectly well the true weight of that 25%. This made her far more than just the richest woman in Zhejiang. She'd probably rank among the wealthiest in all of China, like, easily top 3. She looked at you in utter disbelief. Chen Mo, what are you doing? Why are you giving your shares to me? You smiled and said, sis, you promised me. You said you'd support all of my decisions. But giving me these shares puts you at a massive disadvantage. The Chen family controlled 85% of the group's shares. The remaining 10% was on the stock market, and 5% was held by other shareholders. By giving Shen Yuchu 25%, she instantly became the second largest shareholder in the entire group. From now on, who would ever dare to look down on Shen Yuchu again? Who would dare call her just the Chen family's adopted daughter? Holding 25% of the shares, Shen Yuchu was now the most powerful woman in all of Hangzhou. Your expression suddenly shifted. You spoke very formally. Sis, I'm giving you these shares, on one condition. Wang Jing was startled by your sudden change in tone. What are you plotting? Wait, you're not planning to marry her, are you? So the shares just go right back into your family's pockets. That's just moving money from your left hand to your right. Hearing Wang Jing say this, Shen Yuchu actually thought that might be your plan too. But instead of looking upset, she actually looked a little hopeful. You let out an exasperated laugh at Wang Jing. You couldn't keep up the serious act anymore. What on earth are you thinking? Do I look like that kind of guy? Wang Jing smirked. Then what's your condition? The kind where you don't even give her a proper title? Wow, you're awful. You choked on your breath and started coughing violently at her words. Shen Yuchu quickly grabbed some water for you. Wang Jing watched Shen Yuchu fussing over you so anxiously. Looks like this silly girl is totally on board with it. I bet she's had a crush on you for ages. Maybe back in the day, your family actually raised her to be your child bride. Wang Jing's teasing hit right at the secret in Shen Yuchu's heart. Truth be told, she really was raised to be the Chen family's child bride. Your mother had even brought it up to her years ago. But Chen Hongwen completely rejected it. He scolded your mother for being old-fashioned, and called it some feudal nonsense without even considering how Shen Yuchu felt about it. The truth was, Shen Yuchu actually wanted it, but she was too young back then, and didn't know how to express her feelings. Later on, Chen Hongwen and Lu Weiqin turned right around, and arranged an engagement between you and Lu Rian, which made your mother absolutely furious. When the words child bride came out, you started coughing even harder. Shen Yuchu looked so distressed as she scolded, Wang Jing, what kind of nonsense are you spouting? Just stop talking. Wang Jing clutched her chest, pretending to be overwhelmed. Oh boy, it's over. Our tough black rose has turned into a blushing red rose. The absolute stench of romance in here is suffocating me. I'd better get out of here right now. I won't interrupt you two lovebirds. As soon as Wang Jing said that, she turned to leave. Seeing this, you immediately stopped coughing. You said, Manager Wang, wait a minute. I'm not done talking yet, and I need you here for this. Shen Yuchu and Wang Jing exchanged a look, realizing this was probably no small matter. You said, besides that 25% of the shares, I'm also appointing Shen Yuchu as the general manager of the company. She will oversee absolutely everything. From business development to personnel appointments, Shen Yuchu has the final say. There's no need to report to me or ask for my approval anymore. You were planning to hand over the entire management control of the company completely to Shen Yuchu. Hearing this, Wang Jing gave you an approving look. It's about time. Yuchu has been running the company this whole time, but was only a vice president in name, which made getting things done so frustrating. So many opportunities were right in front of us, but because we had to wait for your approval, they slipped right through our fingers. This is a really smart move. Shen Yuchu never expected that your visit to the office today was to clear every single obstacle in her path. Giving her shares and even handing over complete control. Tears welled up in her eyes, deeply moved. Wang Jing knew Shen Yuchu definitely had some sweet, private things to say to you, so she quickly found an excuse to slip away. Well, you two keep chatting. I'm going to draft that appointment notice right now. I'll officially announce this appointment on behalf of the corporate headquarters shortly. Chairman, just get ready to sign it. Alright, sure enough, the person who understands a woman best isn't always her husband. It might be her girl best friend, but hopefully never a guy best friend. Once Wang Jing left, Shen Yuchu threw herself right into your arms. Her tears came streaming down. You naturally wrapped your arms around her waist, pulling her tight against you. 1,000 words were swirling in the air, but neither knew where to start. At this moment, the silence spoke volumes. You only felt that words simply couldn't capture your deep affection. You had so much you wanted to tell her, but you just couldn't find the right words. As for Shen Yuchu, her heart was bursting with the joy of finally having you back. Deep down, she was incredibly grateful to Lu Rian, grateful for how utterly clueless and unappreciative that woman had been. So blinded by her own arrogance. Calming down a bit, Shen Yuchu asked, Darling, giving me all these shares, aren't you afraid I might marry someone else someday? You gently stroked her hair, twirling a dark strand around your fingertips, and said in the most sincere tone, Not at all. I gave them to you, so they are yours. If you ever decide to marry another man, consider those shares your dowry. Shen Yuchu got a bit irritated. She gave the side of your waist a vicious pinch, and pouted, Oh, really? Then I'm going to go find another man to marry right now. Don't you dare regret it. You winced in pain. Ouch, that hurts. Babe, I'm sorry. No dowries, I promise. Shen Yuchu pinched even harder. Excuse me? What did you just say? Say that again? Nobody could have ever imagined that the famous Black Rose of Hangzhou, the one rumored to be so cold-blooded and ruthless, actually has such a soft, gentle side. If word got out, probably no one would believe it. I got pinched over and over. Both sides of my waist are completely bruised. See, now you finally know what you did wrong, he said, crying. Sis, you will always be a part of my Chen family. In this life, and in the next life, too. We only have each other, you have to take care of me forever. Provide for me for the rest of my life. Hearing the words we only have each other, Shen Yuchu just collapsed onto you and burst into loud sobs. She had waited for this moment, for far too long. So long that she almost gave up. She choked back her tears and said, Okay, we will always be together. We will never be apart. You looked at her with absolute seriousness. Sis, you have to keep your word. Don't lie to me. I can't survive another betrayal. Shen Yuchu's body stiffened. She could feel that when you said those words, just how much bitterness was in your heart. That kind of pain, she could feel it piercing right through flesh and soul. It was absolutely heartbreaking. Shen Yuchu didn't even know how to comfort you. Lu Rian didn't even know how she fell asleep. Last night, she didn't know how long she had cried. Just as she took out her phone to call you, Yi Fan coincidentally called her. On the other end of the line, Yi Fan was crying and screaming, Rian, hurry and get to the hospital. Someone is trying to kill me. After he said that, the call hung up. Yi Fan? What's going on? Say something. What happened? By the time Lu Rian realized he had hung up, she grabbed her car keys and rushed out. She was still wearing that white engagement dress, tossing you to the back of her mind for Yi Fan yet again. When Lu Rian arrived at the hospital, Yi Fan was completely unharmed, just kneeling on the ground, looking like he was about to collapse. Sitting opposite of Yi Fan was the Lu family grandmother. Lu Rian walked up to Lu Weichen, feeling terribly heartbroken. She urgently pleaded, Grandma, what are you doing? Why are you giving Yi Fan such a hard time? He just got into a car crash. His body hasn't even recovered yet. Lu Weichen looked at Lu Rian like she was looking at an idiot. How could this granddaughter be such a fool for love? Looking at Yi Fan, how did it look like he was in a car crash at all? The car that hit him must have been a bumper car. The old lady pointed at Yi Fan and asked Lu Rian, take a good look for me. Where exactly is he severely injured? He just scraped a little bit of skin. And you actually ran away from your wedding for this piece of trash? Making my Lu family and the Chen family turn into bitter enemies? I seriously wish I could beat the two of you to death. Hearing her grandmother say this, Lu Rian was instantly in disbelief. She stepped forward and looked at Yi Fan. It was true. There were only tiny scrapes on his face and hands. He just had a lot of iodine smeared all over them. She was so blinded by worry last night that she didn't look closely. Today, the color of the iodine had faded. The wound was supposed to be so obvious, but actually, there wasn't a scratch on him. The worst of it was just a tiny scrape. In that instant, Lu Rian thought of the blood you coughed up in the bridal chamber. Just how deeply disappointed and heartbroken were you? You must have lost all hope to be driven to cough up blood like that. And yet here she was, dropping everything just because of one phone call from Yi Fan. Rushing over to save him, when she had originally planned to go and apologize to Chen Mo. What in the world was she doing? But still, her feelings for Yi Fan were just different. Even though he had lied to her this time, and caused her such a massive disaster, she still believed he must have had his reasons. She would never let her grandmother hurt him. Lu Rian stepped right up and helped Yi Fan up from the floor, his knees trembling from kneeling so long. She turned to her grandmother and said, Grandma, as for the mess with the Chen family, I will handle it myself. I promise I'll give you a proper explanation. Yi Fan is with me, and I won't let anyone lay a finger on him. With that, she held onto Yi Fan and started walking out. But right at that moment, Chin Hai burst into the room. He had just come from Chen Mo's company, rushing back to the hospital only to see Lu Rian about to leave with Yi Fan. He looked at her, a flash of deep disgust hiding in his eyes, but in a split second it vanished, replaced by his usual naive, simple-minded look. He turned to Lu Rian and said, Chen Mo is truly furious this time. If you keep hanging around this guy, you're gonna lose any chance you had left with him. Lu Rian completely ignored him, treating him like empty air. She just kept holding Yi Fan and walked right out of the ward. Chin Hai then walked over to Lu Weichin, putting on a deeply guilty face and saying, Mom, I am so sorry, I couldn't fix things with Chen Mo. He's dead set on calling off the engagement this time. He even demanded that we return the dowry money. He then gave Lu Weichin a quick rundown of everything that went down at Chen Mo's company, conveniently leaving out any mention of the Chin family, of course. But Lu Weichin seemed like she already saw this coming. She wasn't surprised at all. I know you did your best. You handled that online mess perfectly. The fallout with the Chen family isn't your fault. Right before Lu Rian had rushed to the hospital, the Lu family had already released an official statement, claiming that Yi Fan was merely the family's adopted son, and that he and Lu Rian were just brother and sister, who simply had a very close bond. After that, the Lu family paid off an army of online trolls to control the narrative on social media. Aside from a few stubborn insiders who knew the actual truth, most people had already lost interest in the scandal. Sigh, little Chen Mo has always been such a sensible boy since he was young. I truly adored him, what a shame. Just give the Chen family their dowry money back. Our Lu family's reputation is already dragged through the mud. We can't afford to be branded as greedy scammers on top of everything else. Seeing Lu Weichin look so full of regret, Chin Hai suddenly spoke up. Mom, Lu Rian isn't the only legitimate daughter we have. Have you forgotten? We still have Rushui. Lu Weichin snapped her head up, staring right at Chin Hai. Only then did she realize just how terrifyingly fast his mind was working to manipulate this situation. There was absolutely zero trace of that spineless, simple-minded pushover he always pretended to be. It was like she was seeing Chin Hai for the very first time. Meanwhile, over with Lu Rian, the moment she got Yi Fan out of the ward, she shoved him hard onto the floor. Tell me the truth, why did you lie to me? Do you have any idea how much trouble I caused by coming to the hospital to save you? You've completely ruined me. Lu Rian was on the verge of tears as she spoke. In just one short day, so much has gone wrong. All because of Yi Fan's lies. And she had to endure all of this on her own. The broken engagement, years of love destroyed in an instant. The Lu family's reputation was in ruins, and the company was facing a massive crisis. Even worse, people online were viciously calling her a tramp, and a shameless hussy, hurling every filthy insult they could think of at her. Meanwhile, Yi Fan, the one who caused it all, was perfectly protected by her sister Rian. Yi Fan looked as though he had been terribly wronged, sobbing so hard he could barely speak. Seeing him like this, Lu Rian's heart ached a little. Her tone softened. What are you crying for? I'm the one who should be crying. Seeing that Lu Rian wasn't as angry anymore, he put on an incredibly pitiful face. Sister Rian, I know you were getting engaged last night, and since brother Chen Mo doesn't like me, and didn't want me there, I just went to a bar alone and drank way too much. On my way home, I got hit by an e-bike. A passerby even had to call an ambulance for me. They brought me to the hospital, and it was the nurse who called you. I didn't want to ruin your engagement party either. I was just so heartbroken. I had a few too many drinks, and when I woke up, I had no idea what was going on. How can you say I lied to you? After Yifan's explanation, Lu Rian thought about it. It was true that Yifan wasn't the one who called her last night. This meant Yifan hadn't lied to her. The nurse couldn't reach any of his family members, and the only contact in his phone saved as sister was her. So, the nurse had no choice but to call her and ask her to come sign the hospital papers. Because Yifan was an orphan, and his only friend in the entire city was Lu Rian. Realizing all of this, Lu Rian's anger toward Yifan practically vanished. All right, I can't blame you for this. I misunderstood you. Once all this blows over, I'll bring Chen Mo here to apologize to you. We'll treat you to dinner, Lu Rian said hopefully. Oh, that sounds great. But brother Chen Mo doesn't need to apologize to me. As long as he's not mad at me, that's all that matters. Yifan put on a joyful face, acting as if he truly admired him and couldn't wait to meet him. Lu Rian affectionately touched the scrape on Yifan's face. I'm so glad you feel that way. It makes me really happy. You should go home now. Get a couple days of rest. Don't come back to the office until your injuries are fully healed. I'm fine, really. It's just a little scratch. Where are you heading now? Let me go with you. As your loyal little assistant, I've got to be right by your side, ready to serve. That's not necessary. I'm going home now, to change clothes. After that, I'm going to find Chen Mo. I need to explain everything clearly to him. Once he calms down, since that's all in the past, I definitely need to go with you. I need to apologize to Chen Mo in person, so he doesn't misunderstand you. I'll help clear things up for you, so you two can go back to how you used to be. Lu Rian thought about it, and she agreed. Bringing Yifan along to explain things himself would be much more convincing than just her words alone. She nodded and said, alright, then come home with me. But wait in the car for a bit, I'm going up to change my clothes first. But Yifan didn't agree. He said, sis, my clothes got ruined when I fell yesterday. Didn't I leave an outfit at your place before? Let me come up and change too. Otherwise, going to see Chen Mo looking like this would just be too disrespectful. Lu Rian hesitated for a moment. She remembered that photo. The whole reason the internet blew up was because Yifan had gone into her room. These concerns were already anticipated by Yifan. He explained, sis, we're family. If we start avoiding each other just because people are suspicious, doesn't that make us look guilty? We should just act completely normal. That way, no one will doubt us. Lu Rian thought it made a lot of sense, but she was still a little worried. However, Yifan didn't even give her a chance to protest, grabbing her hand and pulling her along. Half an hour later, the two of them returned to Lu Rian's luxury apartment she had bought in the city, walking in hand. An hour later, Yifan and Lu Rian had both changed their clothes and stepped out of her apartment. 3M. A batch of photos of Lu Rian and Yifan. 229. The all-knowing internet sleuths had snapped photos of Lu Rian and Yifan. First, of the two inside the hospital, hugging each other closely, with Lu Rian lovingly caressing Yifan's injured face. In some cleverly angled shots, it even looked like they were kissing. Then there were pictures of Yifan pulling Lu Rian's hand, strolling down the hospital corridor like they were the only two people in the world. Finally, there were shots of Lu Rian driving Yifan to her private apartment, and after that, pictures of them both in different clothes, walking out hand in hand. Needless to say, the netizens online were losing their minds and roasting them all over again. Along with this massive wave of backlash, the furiously reignited public started mass dumping the Lu family's stocks. Instantly, the Lu family's stock prices fell off a cliff. But Lu Rian and Yifan were completely oblivious to all of this. Yifan hadn't checked his phone, and Lu Rian was busy driving. It was actually pretty funny. Yifan, the assistant, acted way more like the CEO, while Lu Rian seemed like his secretary. The two soon arrived at your company building. This time, no one in the company dared to stop Lu Rian, because she was a regular here. The business deals between the Lu family and the Chen family were all personally handled by Lu Rian. After all, when it came to negotiating prices, that was how Lu Rian secured the biggest profits. And that chairman's office of yours was practically her own office sometimes. She had been preparing to take over the Chen family's assets for a long time. Lu Rian walked in completely unhindered, but the company employees certainly didn't give her any good looks, especially since she actually brought Yifan along. They were all cursing in their private group chats. Holy crap. This bitch is completely shameless. How dare she bring her little toy boy to our company? Is she really not afraid that Mr. Chen will lose his mind and kill them both? Chen Yuchu's secretary, Lu Qingqing, blocked their way at the door and said, "You can't go in there. The chairman and general manager are discussing business inside. Get out of the way. Do you have any idea who this is? You even dare to block the chairman's fiancé? You've got some nerve." Yifan suddenly played the role of a protective assistant. He shoved Lu Qingqing aside to clear the way for Lu Rian. "This chairman's office of yours isn't just familiar to Lu Rian, Yifan is incredibly familiar with it too. The two of them have been here countless times, but this is the first time they've come here to see you." Yifan treated the place like his own home. Without even knocking, he just pushed the door wide open and walked right in. At this exact moment, you were sitting in your executive chair. As soon as Lu Rian walked through the door, she was greeted by the scene in front of her. How could you two do this? Lu Rian was so furious her face turned purple, her lips trembling in shock. Her eyes instantly brimmed with tears. Meanwhile, your eyes revealed an overwhelming, monstrous hatred. Lu Rian and Yifan. This disgusting pair of backstabbers. In your past life, they tortured you to death. Now, the three of you were reunited once again. But today, you were no longer that pathetic, self-sacrificing fool. With no love left in your heart, you naturally weren't afraid of being hurt anymore. With only hatred fueling you, you certainly wouldn't hesitate to strike them down. You said in a deadpan, chilling voice, "Who gave you permission to come in here?" "Get out." Before Lu Rian could even open her mouth, Yifan jumped in and said, "Brother Chen Mo, Sister Rian came here specially to apologize. This is all just a big misunderstanding. How could you mess around with another woman right in front of Sister Rian's face?" Just hearing Yifan's voice made you sick to your stomach. A grown man acting so frail and pitiful, speaking in that whiny, twisted tone. What a complete sissy. You really couldn't understand why Lu Rian would ever fall for a guy like him. Did weak, easily bullied little boys really trigger her protective instincts that much? You kept a straight face and said in an icy tone, "If you don't want me to call security and have you thrown out, you'd better turn around and walk out on your own. Learn how to knock before you enter." Hearing this, Lu Rian completely lost her composure. She never expected your entire personality to change so drastically overnight. How dare you speak to her like that? Feeling deeply wronged, she cried out, "Chen Mo, do you even hear what you're saying right now? How dare you tell me to get out? You should be telling her to get out. Have you forgotten? You made a promise to me. You promised you'd keep your distance from Shen Yuchu." You exploded with rage. "Get out." Seeing that things were going terribly wrong, Yifan quickly grabbed Lu Rian and pulled her back out the door. Just then, Shen Yuchu's secretary, Lu Qingqing, said apologetically, "I am so sorry, Chairman. General Manager, I couldn't stop them. Go out and make it crystal clear to the security team and the front desk. From now on, without my explicit permission, Lu Rian and that dog beside her are banned from the building." "Yes, Chairman. I will notify them right away." Lu Qingqing turned and walked out the door. She shut the door behind her, but not before shooting a vicious glare at Lu Rian and Yifan. Her eyes were full of absolute disgust and hatred. In the end, it was only after Yifan knocked and got permission that Lu Rian finally stepped into the office. Back in the day, she used to walk into this room like she owned the place. But now, she actually had to knock just to be let in. This massive shift was a hard pill for her to swallow. After entering the room, Shen Yuchu was no longer sitting on your lap. She stood obediently behind you like a loyal little maid, gently massaging your shoulders. This very scene struck a painful nerve in Lu Rian. However, this time, she wasn't so aggressive and overbearing. She spoke with a gentle tone. "Chen Mo, I know I messed up last night. I came here to apologize. At the time, I was just so panicked." Yifan had been knocked out cold. When the hospital called, they told me he was severely injured. Hearing this, you were suddenly amused. Then who's this energetic, perfectly fine guy standing right behind you? Yifan looked completely normal right now. Under your mocking gaze, Lu Rian felt a wave of guilt. She started regretting bringing Yifan along. You kept going. "I'm just wondering, are the doctors at the central hospital a bunch of quacks? There is absolutely nothing wrong with him, so why would they call you and claim he was critically injured? And another thing, if Yifan was knocked out cold, how exactly did the hospital get your phone number?" Lu Rian was completely stumped. She had been so blinded by panic before that she hadn't stopped to think about the details. Now that you pointed it out, it suddenly clicked for her. "Wait, you're right. Yifan, you're clearly fine. So why did the doctor call me and say you were in a terrible accident? And, if you were really unconscious, how did they even have my private number?" His eyes darted around nervously. Looking left and right, he stammered, scrambling for an answer. I really was knocked out. I guess after I got to the hospital. No, wait, I remember now. While I was passed out, I kept murmuring your name, Sister Rian. I must have recited your phone number from memory. I must have mumbled it to the doctor. And that's how they called you." Yifan was practically high-fiving himself in his head. Amazed he came up with such a flawless excuse. You looked at Lu Rian, this gullible woman. She actually bought it hook, line, and sinker. And because she thought Yifan missed her so deeply, she looked incredibly moved. It was such a pathetic, clumsy lie. Yet she still swallowed it. The very first time Shen Yuchu laid eyes on Yifan, she could tell he was completely fake. If he were a girl, in the world of manipulative pick-me's, he'd barely make third-rate. Shen Yuchu asked, "It seems Lu Rian really holds a special place in your heart, huh?" Yifan nodded eagerly. "Of course she does. Sister Rian is my only family left in this world. But, I really don't believe you can recite her phone number by heart. Care to give us a live performance? Let me see just how deep this precious bond of yours really is." Lu Rian already had a bone to pick with Shen Yuchu. Seeing her actually doubt Yi Fan's devotion, she hurriedly urged him, "Quick, recite it for her. Show her what true feelings look like." But Yi Fan broke out in a cold sweat. He finally understood what they meant by, "One lie requires 1,000 more to cover it up." He pretended to think hard, but couldn't spit out a single number for ages. His forehead started dripping with sweat. Shen Yuchu asked, "What's wrong? Did you suddenly forget?" Lu Rian couldn't stand Shen Yuchu's mocking and disdainful expression. Furrowing her brows, she snapped angrily, "What's the rush? Yi Fan was hit by a car yesterday. He's probably just a little dazed right now. Just give him a second." Watching Lu Rian defend Yi Fan so fiercely, your chest pierced with a sharp ache. Even breathing hurt. However, you had already announced the cancellation of your engagement. Today, you were going to make things perfectly clear to Lu Rian. From now on, you wouldn't be friends, only enemies. Since Lu Rian was fiercely protecting Yi Fan, then of course, you had to protect Shen Yuchu. You cast a disdainful look at Lu Rian and Yi Fan, and asked playfully, "How about I give you a little hint? It starts with a 1. Right, it's a 1. Yi Fan acted like he remembered, but after saying 1, he had no idea what came next. He stammered for a long time with absolutely nothing to show for it. At this point, even Lu Rian realized that Yi Fan didn't remember her number at all, but she wasn't about to lose face in front of Shen Yuchu. She could only make up an excuse for him. It's the after effects of the car crash. He hasn't fully recovered yet. Besides, who even memorizes phone numbers nowadays? I can't even remember my own number." You gave a calm smile. "Is that so? Then why'd I remember it so clearly?" You casually recited Lu Rian's phone number and even rattled off her ID number without missing a beat. In truth, it wasn't just that. You remembered every single important date of hers, like her birthday, her time of the month, and every single password for her apps and bank cards. Whenever Lu Rian forgot something, she never had to rack her brain. She just had to give you a call, and you'd instantly give her the exact details. Watching your completely unfazed expression, Lu Rian was stunned. She had no idea you had actually memorized her phone and ID numbers. If there hadn't been other people around, she definitely would have rushed over and planted a few hard kisses right on your face. Lu Rian was absolutely overwhelmed with emotion. She just knew you were still deeply in love with her. Everything about her, you remembered crystal clear. Meanwhile, Shen Yuchu was fuming with jealousy. It turns out that when someone truly cares about you, those feelings are carved deep into their very bones. They just never forget a thing. Shen Yuchu's words carried a double meaning, completely slapping Lu Rian and Yi Fan right in the face. It also revealed her deep, undeniable jealousy. How could you not see it? She dug a huge hole for herself. Lu Rian was absolutely furious. This supposed pure snow lotus was about to wither into dried petals from sheer rage. She glared at you and Shen Yuchu, watching the two of you flirt as if no one else was even in the room. What really stung was Shen Yuchu calling her an outsider, and you didn't even try to deny it. Dropping her graceful and elegant act entirely, she stomped right up to Shen Yuchu. She yanked her to her feet. "You worthless adopted brat, how dare you try to seduce my fiancé? Get the hell out of here, right now." Slap. No one saw it coming. The moment Lu Rian cursed at Shen Yuchu, you jumped up and struck Lu Rian hard across the face. Lu Rian was completely stunned. Even Shen Yuchu and Yi Fan stood there, frozen in shock. None of them could wrap their heads around it. How could you have changed so drastically? Was it really just because Lu Rian ran away from the wedding? Little did they know that single slap carried the heavy, burning hatred of 2 entire lifetimes. Every time you remembered the tragic nightmare of your past life, Lu Rian's cold, ruthless betrayal. How she stabbed you in the back, tearing your pure, selfless love into absolute shreds. And Yi Fan, that pathetic scum, who dared to violate the woman you loved most in your previous life. If you didn't need a proper justification, you would have loved to tear Lu Rian and Yi Fan apart. You wanted those 2 wretched scumbags dead, but acting recklessly now would cost you too much. The Lu family wouldn't let you off the hook, and the law would hunt you down to the very end. It wasn't worth throwing your own life away. Meanwhile, Lu Rian stood frozen, clutching her cheek. In her entire life, no one had ever dared to strike her, especially not you, who used to cater to her every single whim. Tears instantly welled up in her eyes. It wasn't from the pain, but from sheer, utter disbelief. She stared at you in a daze. This was the man who once gladly acted like an absolute doormat, begging for her affection. But now, your eyes held not a single ounce of love, only a cold, piercing hatred. Yi Fan panicked and quickly stepped in front of her. "Chen Mo, man, how could you hit Rian? She literally came here to apologize to you. You've gone way too far." You let out a cold laugh, your gaze sweeping sharply over Yi Fan. "Too far? A slap is letting her off easy. And do you really think your hands are clean? Who was the one cuddling up with her in the bridal suite? Who manipulated her into ditching the wedding? Who lied to her about that damn hospital phone call? Dare to tell me you didn't have your own selfish little agenda?" Yi Fan was left completely speechless. His face turned completely pale, his eyes darting away, terrified to meet your gaze. It was only then that it finally hit Lu Rian. Everything Yi Fan had told her was full of gaping holes. She grabbed Yi Fan by the arm, her grip tight. Tell me the truth. Did you set up that phone call on purpose? Did you know all along that you were perfectly fine? Have you been playing me this whole time? Yi Fan winced in pain and violently shoved her hand away. I didn't lie to you. You're just an idiot who believes everything you hear. Those words struck her like a bucket of ice water. She had always treated Yi Fan like her own flesh and blood. She poured her heart and soul into protecting him, only to be played for a total fool in the end. Shen Yuchu walked up beside you and gently slipped her hand into yours, silently urging you to calm down. You squeezed her hand back, feeling the soft warmth of her palm. Your eyes softened for a moment, but the second you glanced back at Lu Rian and Yi Fan, your gaze turned dead and freezing cold. Lu Rian, I'm telling you this for the very last time, our engagement is over. From now on, we owe each other absolutely nothing. As for what the Lu family owes me, I will take it back, piece by piece. And as for you, Yi Fan, you exploited Rian's trust to ruin my engagement party. You destroyed my entire past. Don't worry, we have plenty of time to settle this score. Just then, the office door swung open. Wang Jing hurried in, holding a document, followed closely by 2 police officers. Chairman, the Lu family is completely finished. Their stocks have crashed, and they are completely bankrupt. Old Madame Lu Weichen suffered a fatal heart attack. She passed away. Qin Hai was just taken away by the police for corruption and bribery. Qin Bo and the others are facing public prosecution too. They'll probably rot in prison for the rest of their lives. Hearing this, Lu Rian's legs gave out, and she nearly collapsed. Grandma is dead? Dad was arrested? The Lu family was destroyed. In an instant, she had lost absolutely everything. Seeing this, Yi Fan panicked. He was only stringing Lu Rian along for her family's money. Now that the Lu family was ruined, he wouldn't get a single dime. He couldn't keep up his act any longer and viciously turned on Lu Rian. This is all your fault, Lu Rian. If you weren't so stupid and easy to manipulate, I wouldn't be in this mess. I only used you as a stepping stone to get close to the Chen family. I never thought you'd be this utterly useless. You couldn't even keep your own engagement. Now that your family is ruined, I'm done pretending. With that, Yi Fan turned and tried to run, but the police blocked the door. Mr. Yi Fan, you are under arrest for fraud, defamation, and framing. Come with us. The officers stepped forward and slapped handcuffs on him. Yi Fan thrashed wildly, screaming that he was innocent. But no one cared. He was dragged away by the police. Lu Rian stood frozen, trembling violently. She stared at Yi Fan's retreating back as he was taken away. Then she thought of her grandmother's death, her father's arrest, and your freezing, merciless stare. She finally realized just how ridiculously wrong she had been. Step by agonizing step, she walked over to you, and slowly fell to her knees. I really know I was wrong. Please, just give me one more chance, okay? I promise I'll never be selfish again. I'll never defend Yi Fan ever again. I just want things to go back to how they were. Back to when you still cared about me. You stared down at Lu Rian, who was sobbing uncontrollably on the floor. But your heart felt absolutely nothing. The old you might have felt pity, might have gone soft. But now, your heart belonged only to Shen Yuchu. All you felt was the cold peace of revenge. You gently pulled your hand away from Shen Yuchu's warm grasp, and looked down at Lu Rian from above. It's too late. I gave you a chance. But you threw it away. You destroyed everything we had with your own 2 hands. And you destroyed yourself, too. Get up. I'm not going to hurt you anymore. But I will never, ever give you another chance. Seeing the absolute resolve in your eyes, Lu Rian knew her last shred of hope was gone. She collapsed onto the floor, weeping violently. Her sobs were filled with nothing but pure regret and despair. Shen Yuchu watched her without an ounce of sympathy. Pitiable people always have something detestable about them. She had brought this entirely upon herself. You turned your head to look at Shen Yuchu, and your eyes instantly melted into a gentle warmth. Sister, let's go. We're done here. Shen Yuchu nodded quietly. She followed you toward the door. As you walked past Lu Rian, neither of you spared her a single glance, and walked right out of the chairman's office. The employees in the company all greet you with deep respect, their eyes filled with absolute awe. No one dares to look down on you anymore, and absolutely no one dares to gossip about Shen Yuchu being an adopted daughter. You and Shen Yuchu step into the elevator, and it slowly begins to go down. You hold onto Shen Yuchu's hand tightly. Sis, from now on, I am here for you. I will never let anyone bully you ever again. I won't let anyone treat you unfairly anymore. Shen Yuchu looks deep into your earnest eyes. Her eyes begin to well up with tears, and she gives a firm nod. Okay, we will stay together forever. We will never be apart. The elevator doors slide open, and the 2 of you walk out of the Yibo Tower side by side. The sunlight pours down on them, so warm and dazzlingly bright. It is as if it washes away every last trace of the darkness from before.